Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings with me, your punk ass Lawrence. Listen, if you're gonna insult me, it may just turn into an actual bit. It's something that I take um, pride in. So anyway, let's just get into it. There is so much stuff to talk about. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Let me just say, 13 people already in the chat. I can see people talking. It's actually like becoming a real show here where people are actually showing up Monday night, and obviously there's more and more people. Maybe something has to do with me doing a giveaway, but most of the people so far I can say I've already seen normally. So it is great to see people already piling up. I want to just say this, when I decide to do a show, I always want to do kind of a topic in case there's not much to talk about. Damn, there's a lot to talk about. There is so much to talk about this week. So let me address the giveaway right away. All the names are already in. I believe there was 66 people. 66 people. The drawing will happen between 10 and 11 at some point, okay? I would really like everyone to stick around the whole time. I know not everyone can. I know some people are going to pop in. And even though I want to have as many viewers as possible, as many people watching, I kind of like the idea of people not being in and then them winning and their name just gets pulled out and thrown in the trash because they're not here. I just think that's pretty funny. But anyway, so much stuff to get into. As you can see, if you've actually been paying attention over the weeks that I've been doing this, I haven't moved things around. I just moved my desk. Everything is out of whack. I'm going to feel completely messed up. My door is now over here, so I can just kind of walk out if I need to. But the monitors are switched around, and it is driving me absolutely mad. As I did the Sunday night toy haul video, it was everything just out of whack, just throwing me completely all over the place. So anyway, I guess that's just a little bit. I also want to mention the Sunday night toy haul, which I know that I was going to do away with, and a few people asked me, said, "Hey, you know what? We really like it." It's a real quick video for me to do. Although this one, it took me like 4 tries to get through the opening. It kind of shocked me. I gotta say, 57 likes on that kind of blew me away when all I did was really go over figures that I already have in a quick giveaway. So anyway, let's get to the chat because, man, there's a lot of people here. Quickly, I want to say Dave Manifold here. You were in the chat so early that it actually does not show up on the chat. So just understand that if you guys do make if you say something early on, there's a good chance you're not going to be here. You're just not going to be seen by everyone else. But anyway, Master Versal Hunter is here. Dad, I'm not sure if it's my dad. I'm assuming that he doesn't really care for toys, unless I was talking about John Wayne. He's a huge John Wayne fan, and I'll stand by that. Green Berets is the greatest John Wayne movie of all time. Still, Lone Dragon. I did check out your stream. I don't want you to think that I didn't check out that stream. It's kind of chaotic, a little bit hard for me to stay involved. I didn't really have much to say. Albatross Customs, PNC Games is almost always here. So great to see him. I see he says his Serpentor has a crooked hip. He leans like he has a kidney infection. So McClattic, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I think it's absolutely wrong. Payne's Toy Sample. It was great to finally see what Payne looks like. I know a lot of you guys have YouTube channels, and sometimes I just don't realize that you guys all have one. Watching some of these live streams, it's interesting to see how other people do live streams. So again, a lot of fun watching you. DJ Fevish, we got Mighty Leg, the moderator, Matthew Matson. Again, sometimes I can't, everything moves so slow. I've mentioned this before. I don't know how the other YouTubers do it. Anyway, Matthew Matson, he is the moderator. So what he says goes. He knows we haven't had any issues. I don't think we're going to have any issues for a while. Like I said, until we get the sex bots, we made it. Crash is in the house. And then we got Woodman 29. Got Big Bacon here. Again, so many. Sherwood Camp. I do not remember seeing Sherwood Camp ever. If you were here before, I do apologize. And I just want to get to Eric Thurman. I know we saw him last week. I just see Stephanie McKeon. I've seen you post a couple times. I believe this is the first time you've been in the actually here. So I do want to say thank you for showing up. Did I hit your name? Like I said, I hit things. It doesn't work. And there's just so many other people in right now. Ritz Murphy's here. So other people in here. I just want to say hi. I'm kind of rambling on. But hell, that's why you guys came here now, isn't it? I got so much stuff here. Quickly, you know what? Hey, there's a few more that we have not seen here before. So I got, let's see, a Troy. I have seen this name popping up on a few other streams, so it is great to have you in here. Boomstick Saint, I'm not sure what that is in reference to, but I hear Boomstick and I hear Ash. That's all I hear is Ash. So anyway, let's get into this. Again, so much to talk about. If this is your first time here, you guys better get ready to just listen to somebody absolutely ramble on for just ramble on, because that's exactly what you're going to get when you come here. So, my notes here. We got to do something about the light back here. It's really shiny. Got to figure out. It's just, it's too much, and I look at here. So anyway, it's going to be hard for me to watch through the everything that's going on. So anyway, let's see here. So much stuff to do. So anyway, go over the Sunday Night Toy Hauls, which we talked about. I picked up the 5 dusters, but I also picked up this little figure so I could throw on the female Steel Brigade, because it matches her so perfectly. And then all the different dusters, and again, a lot of the colors just fit so wonderfully for everyone else. If you got that duster pack, the 5 dusters for like $50, they do not stand very well on anything that is really slick. I mentioned that before, but anyway, because of that, we got the wonderful giveaway. So hey, quickly here. Oops, where it is the wrong. Now I hate when things pop up all over the place. Where'd it go? New member here, Crash. Yes, for a good time, car articulated Chad. I don't know where he's at right now. Oh boy. So anyway, new member, Crash. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, everything moves slower on the StreamYard than over here, so it's absolutely, it's actually going. It's nuts. It's nuts. Yes, Jason, I see Toy Biz is back. There is so much stuff. And I want to say, I got to give, I've mentioned before numerous times how I am a huge fan of Geek Dead Life and, Toy Anxiety, different channels like that. I got to say, big shout out. I've mentioned it before for Toy Habits, but I know Geek Dead Life has their own website. And luckily for me, they cover a lot of the stuff that I do. So I will be using their website along with Toy Habits website to go over a lot of the different things that we're going to be talking about. Because again, there's just so much that that they do that is, works for all of us. So, all right, let's get back here. Trying to hide some stuff. All right, so I will say this: I did order some stuff. I don't think I'm going to have anything coming in. I wasn't paying attention when I ordered this. Is anyone else in on these? I did order these. I ordered 3 of them. I'm a big fan of these, just the way they look, and the more and more I've seen people have them in hand, the more and more I'm just like, you know what? These things are just, they look really badass. I was actually trying to scroll on the StreamYard. I did order this one here, as you might imagine. If you're going to give me some type of primal creature with a mohawk and being a punk, and at one time in my life having a mohawk, you kind of got to go with one, right? You got to go with the mohawk. But anyway, really cool. I like this type of stuff. They stand out in all honesty, looking at this and what I've seen online. They're what the Thundercats that Super 7 has given us, what they should be. I no longer have those Thundercats. I would love to compare them. Although I don't think there's going to be any type of figuring out where the articulation would be. But I did order a couple of these. If anyone else got any, I'd love to hear what you guys think of them if you already have them. Again, I just like the way they look. I believe I ordered this red one right here. And I did order, this one right here. So, again, cool little things. There's something that I did order. I was hoping to have it this week. I wasn't paying attention that right at the top, it tells you that allow for up to 3 weeks. So, kind of sucks, but that's what happens when you don't really pay attention now. But anyway, we're going to move this for right now. But I don't know, if anyone got that, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, I see a lot of people talking about the Serpentor. I'm glad that a lot of people are getting the Serpentor and the Dr. Mindbender now, that we're able to get it a little bit later on. But anyway, another question that I did have. Can you guys hear him yet? Anyone hear him? Because he's already whining at the door. He's been sitting in with my daughter, I don't know, for like 2 hours. And of course, the moment I go live, he probably just hears my voice. And Roman wants in. I got a question though. I know I've plugged this before, along with I think every single toy YouTuber, because Entertainment Earth is just like handing them out. And that is the affiliate. A couple people have told me that they've used it, and I'm wondering if anyone has, because according to what I've seen, like on my back end, no one has ordered anything. And I just want to know, like, if you are ordering it, that you guys are getting the 10% off. Again, I just want to make sure that everyone is getting what they're supposed to be getting, because I don't want to be promoting something if no one's actually getting it, because I'm not seeing it on my end. And I have seen a couple of times when some people have already, a couple of things have been ordered. All right, there are 70 people in the live stream right now. So everyone hit that like button. 72. Listen, I know it's a lot because of the I know that it's a lot because of the giveaway, which is not for a while, right? I'm just trying to get this thing. You see me going back and forth here. One day I'll get extra cameras kind of set up. But 72 people in here right now, which is absolutely crazy. Just crazy right now. 75 now. Can we break 100? Can we break 100 today? Because that would be absolutely awesome. There's so much stuff that I want to discuss, and I think about other live streams and topics that I want to do, and I do in the future want to address live streaming and the other YouTube content creators, and why some of you may see certain things, why you may see certain different things, why YouTubers do certain things. Lone Dragon says, Pumpkin Toys, I was going to order some classified, but Serpentor came early and Crocker came late, so extra money. Hey, dude, I understand, man. Like, dude, listen, I understand. I was just wondering if anyone has ordered anything, because, again, every YouTuber, I mean, listen, Entertainment Earth is it took seriously less than a half hour to get a code. I mean, it came back right away. So every YouTuber is doing it. Toy Habits, Geek Dad Life. I'm sure Toy Anxiety has it. And again, they're all doing it. Just use mine. Just use mine though. So I just want to make sure, like, again, if I'm going to be promoting something like that and putting it in every single video, I want to make sure that everyone is getting their 10% off. So anyway, I guess we can get into some news, which there has been so much, and again, a lot of it got a lot of YouTubers have already started talking about it, and I know Geek Dad Life talked about it. I normally wouldn't address this too much, but I think it is a big deal, and it is it's this Funko thing. It's this Funko Pop. My daughter is a pretty big Funko Pop, fan, especially with Lilo and Stitch. Crash, thank you for the super chat. Throw this up here really quick here. He says Super 7 is garbage. Crash, I have a huge issue with this because when you spelled Super 7, you did not use the $ as the S. I tend to agree with you. You and I have talked privately. I know you had an issue. I had someone recently, and when I mean recently, I mean within the last day or two, they posted on the SDCC bet that I did, and he said a bad a bad joint out of the arm. His the holster broke, the same as mine. They're making junk, and we're gonna get into Super 7 for sure because the GI Joes came in. But I did want to mention that obviously. Again, if you send a super chat, it's definitely going to get read, and I definitely do appreciate it. Again, I mentioned before. Give me 1 second, guys. Come on. All right, say hi. Come up here. All right, we interrupt this program so Roman can say hi to everyone. Come here. Come on. Say hi. All right. Listen, you just went out. I know you did. I heard Olivia. I know Olivia. I love you too. But look. Okay. Yeah. So you made your appearance. Go lay down. All right. All right. So to all the new people that don't know, that is Roman, and he will make numerous appearances on the show. You'll hear him, and it doesn't matter. Even when my kids are helping out, he still acts like this. Honestly, I had to take a nap because I've been exhausted. He didn't come in my room that one time. I've been up here getting ready, and now he hears me and has to come in there. So quickly on the Funko thing. This is absolutely crazy that they've thrown away, like $30 million worth of product that, I mean, I understand. I don't understand, but I understand that companies do this the same way that Warner Brothers, whoever owns Warner Brothers now, threw away the Batgirl. Look, everyone here saying hi to Roman, hi to Roman. I gotta love it. I love the fact that you guys enjoy seeing Roman and understand that he's kind of like a child and he's going to interrupt and just doesn't seem to care. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's like Warner Brothers, how they basically tossed away the Batgirl movie. It's a tax write-off to them. But, seeing that they just threw all this product away, literally just into the trash, it's crazy. Like, you couldn't donate it. It could be sent to, like, third world countries, like the same place they send the Super Bowl winning T-shirts of the losers. Obviously, everyone has to have a shirt made because they don't know who's going to win. Same with basketball, hockey, baseball. But it was something that had to be addressed because they laid off 10% of their workforce, the same as Hasbro, and I guess Mattel also has. So again, it's coming for everyone. It's coming, unfortunately. And I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge pop fan. I do keep seeing this Forky one, and I know my daughter has it. But I know they were talking about like they consolidated what three different or five different warehouses into one. So again, like I know John was saying, like what do you expect if you can consolidate that much? The math doesn't work out taking 5 warehouses and turning it into one. Again, it's just not enough space. So anyway, it's just something we just kind of had to address. BMW says he got the Sergeant Slaughter, Funko. I have a couple Funkos back here. Like if I see one at Walmart or somewhere, I'd pick it up if it looked like it was going up a price and I had never seen it before. I would just grab it and throw it in there. My daughter and I, because my daughter's in middle school, my son's in high school, and their schools were on the same property, but he had to be dropped off at like 10 to 7, and she couldn't be dropped off before 7:30. So I would drop him off, and then Walmart was right around the corner. So almost every single morning we go to Walmart. And last year, around Christmas time and until after Christmas time, they had Pac-Man, and she'd go play Pac-Man. And then one day she hit 2 players, and we'd always play one game of Pac-Man. And you knew, that little arcade game wasn't going to stay there forever. And one day we come around the corner, and I hear her, and she's like, "It's gone." And it was like you knew it was coming, and she was so mad. She's a little fiery, part Mexican, part Italian, part mutt. Anyway, I guess that's enough with Funko. The toy biz, I really didn't look too much into the toy biz. I know I heard Geek Dead Life talking about it. That's not really my wheelhouse, what toy biz used to do. Again, Geek Dead Life said like he pretty much created this website for them. But they also said that people were complaining about all the pop-ups, which is the same thing that I complained about the toy habits. Yeah, I know the toy biz. I guess it sounds like they're trying to make a comeback. I haven't looked too much into it. And there's one. So another quick story. Again, I don't have stories all the time. If you're new to the channel, get ready for stories. Because again, if you ever see me in the chat, you know how much I talk. So imagine me just having my own show to chat. There's a Funko Pop store that found out about it last year. And it was before Christmas. I told my kids, I'm like, nothing before Christmas. Like, we're done. Christmas is coming in a couple months. We're not getting anything else. So I'm driving to do a job, and I'm on my way back. And there's a skateboard shop that I used to work at. It's where I spent so much of my youth and so much of my money. And I would always look at the suite. Like it's just magically going to reappear after 25 years. And I look over and I see collectibles and I see Funko Pops. So on my way back, finishing the job, because at the end of the day, I stop in there. And it's just a whole store of Funko Pops. But they don't sell new Funko Pops. They don't order new ones. Everything they get is lots. He goes, I won't buy anything that's less than 3 months old. I don't want people running out, grabbing different things. So, of course, I literally that week I told my kids, nothing else. Of course, my daughter's on the Funko Pops. Jump in the car, drive home, say, okay, guys, we're going to go out to eat, but we're going to go somewhere first. We shoot out there, and my daughter's just like in heaven, But anyway, if Funko is going to die, I do feel bad for that. Really good guys, a guy and a woman own it. Real nice people. So enough about Funkos. I really should not have talked that much about Funkos. Like I said, the toy biz, I don't know enough about what's going on. Really haven't paid too much attention to it. It's kind of been crazy. Work's been absolutely crazy. So let's get on to the McFarlane. The Batmobile. and some of the other stuff that they are going to be showing, or that have shown, shall I say. Now, I don't think $80 is bad for a 7-inch scale, which I think we all know it's not going to be a full 7-inch scale. Funkos don't have articulation. The difference between Funko's articulation and, let's say, Super 7 Ultimates is they don't try and act like it does have articulation. I just happen to see that. But anyway, Batmobile looks awesome. I think it's going to be much better to have your Batman 89, which I guess was in stock. And you have to be on the wait list now. I saw everyone later on saying that, hey, you know what? It came out. It was in stock, I guess, at Mezco for a short bit, but he's going to have his own, and we all know they're going to have pins and won't look nearly as good as all the pinless stuff, but you're also going to get it for $20, $22, $25. I know his prices are going up. Viper Scout's asking here quickly. I don't know if you're asking me. Do you think Hasbro will sign any contract with Bobby? I'm assuming you're talking about Valaverse, and the answer would be absolutely no. Those two, well, Bobby has his own issues with Hasbro, and some is understanding, but he's, in my opinion, too personal towards a lot of people. But I think he's burned that bridge. If Hasbro really wanted to, if Hasbro really hated him that much, they could throw like $3 million, $4 million at him and say, go away. We want your product, go away. I don't think, I think some of the people working there care what he's saying. And I'll tell you what, it's actually made a better product for a lot of other people. It really has. It really has helped the G.I. Joe articulation. And just their product design and everything. But we'll get into that. Don't worry. There's a lot of Valaverse to talk about. And believe me, the giveaway it happened to be. It just happened to be. There wasn't any. It wasn't associated. I just happened to get it in, and I couldn't do the giveaway next week, considering we're going to have the G.I. Joe fan stream tomorrow. But anyway, I'm not a huge fan of McFarlane. I do have some stuff up there. But I do like the Superman. I think it looks pretty nice. I don't really care for Steel, but man, the Steel does look really nice. His stuff has looking a lot better. So I don't know where you guys stand on this. And then I think I might actually get this Batman, this Nightfall Batman. I loved it, Nightfall. I actually, I'm not sure if I still have any of the comics left. I sold a lot of my comics last year. And I've been really on the fence to get a Tim Drake or a Red Robin just to kind of complete. But as I was looking at some of my McFarlane stuff I bought last year, I realized a lot of them are single jointed. I haven't really gone back. I don't pose them. I don't play with them. And I'm like, man, these things are single jointed. No wonder why they don't stand very well and stuff like that. So, but I do like the gray and blue Batman. I actually heard the Foosh talking about it. It's like, oh, another Batman. He's like, ooh, well, look at that. And I kind of agree. It looks absolutely awesome. So I don't know where you guys stand with the McFarlane. I mean, I've talked to you guys more than enough. I kind of understand where the bread and butter is. You guys want to hear Valaverse, you want to hear Star Wars from me. Star Wars. Valaverse, G.I. Joe. But there's a lot of other things. Again, I don't have to be purchasing it to admire it. Same with all of you guys. Again, Jason says here, McFarlane is okay. Okay, got excited about the Warhammer. And then Joy Toy went wild with it. Yeah, again, the thing that's really good about Uncle Todd is that he's kept the prices so low. But at the same time, when I hear YouTubers, Instagrammers talking about how, oh, look at the McFarlane, they're still $20, and Legends have gone up, everything's gone up, and again, I do think that they're overpriced for what they're giving you. But at the same time, if you look at even a pinned Marvel Legend compared to a McFarlane, they're not even close. The plastic that Hasbro uses is way better. Everything is so hard on a McFarlane. But if you just want a statuette, something you're just gonna stand there, it's awesome. I think they're really good for the price. And of course, he's actually making statues, which kind of makes me laugh. Like your figures are almost statuettes. I don't know how many poses you can really get them into. So anyway, and then I guess we should probably talk a little bit about the Marvel Legends. I swear the Marvel Legends has had like 2 or 3 streams since the last time G.I. Joe had. Matter of fact, when they postponed the G.I. Joe one, February 14th, Valentine's Day, till tomorrow, then they dropped like other streams. I was like, why would you do that? It made no sense. G.I. Joe hasn't had one in a while. I was actually starting to think that G.I. Joe was going to get a HasLab, but I can't see them doing a HasLab right now, considering they just announced that Legends is getting another HasLab. I hope that Hasbro has realized you cannot be stacking these. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be stacking these, you are going to, you hurt, you hurt your product. Not as many people will be buying it. So let me quickly, we're going to pump in some of these Marvel Legends. I know everyone's already seen them. Every YouTuber's already talked about it because it was done last Tuesday, I believe. So everyone's in it. Hey, day late and $1 short, right? Again, I'm like 5'3", so everything's short to me. So any interest in any of these, any interest in anything of the Marvel Legends? Again, I know a lot of the fans that I'm talking to here. I do have to say the one that I really like, and I probably will get, although I said I'm going to get a few before and I haven't, is, I'm going to scroll through here. These are bad ones. I don't mean that. Did I miss it? So I like this Black Widow. So Patient Mental. I don't remember. I'm not sure if I've ever seen you here, but I think that's pretty funny. A lot of people like having Aunt May in the Doc Ock. I know a lot of people really want that. They've been talking about it. Million Dog says Hawkeye. Yeah, like if I was a big Marvel Legends fan, especially for like an older one, I think I would really like that. Because they have the Sky Sled or whatever it's called. Looks really cool. I really like this. I think she looks really good and would fit in again, if you're a G.I. Joe collector or you want to mix and match. It's awesome. Like, I think that it's going to fit. Perfect. Hold on. See, I really got to work out and having a producer and having Matthew be able to star certain things. If Bobby Ballard brings us a vehicle for under 90 or 100, I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm going to address that in my own personal opinion when we get to it. I don't think you're going to see that happen. And he's already hinted that it's not going to happen. And I'm going to explain what I saw as a hint when we get to the Valaverse portion. And again, there's so much to talk about when it gets to Valaverse. But anyway, getting to this here, again, I really like this. I think it looks really nice. The super articulation, I don't know what that means other than we made her be articulated like other figures. But the one that I really do like, and I seem to have completely missed her, is... See, this is me trying to surprise you guys, and then I went scroll right by. Oh, here it is. The Electric Daredevil. Now, this here is a custom Jinx just waiting to happen. I think this looks really good. She's got pinless joints. Again, you can make this into a Jinx really easy. The only problem I see is the ears, and then their ears, the horns. If you wanted to make a Jinx, because you get rid of the DD, but I guess you could probably like snip those off, sand them down, and repaint the mask. But I think this looks awesome, and there's a Jinx that looks way more similar to that than before. But I think this looks awesome, and I like the pinless. You know, I'm not an anti-pin guy, but it's time that these companies get away from the pin joints. There's just no reason everything shouldn't be pinless, especially when you're already doing it. I think the Joe team's making a huge blunder with the with those the battle corps using the old body. I would much rather see it be used on the newer body, but then again, we've seen how some of those are. 88 people in the chat right now are watching, not in the chat. 88 people in the stream right now. Hit that like button. Thank you. That is the biggest we've ever had, and I gotta say thank you right now. Payne says right now he is working on a Jinx. Why do I Payne? I didn't even realize that you did these customs, and I started following you. Do you and Tony talk ever? Because Tony does some really nice customs too. Again, I like seeing the customs. It is not me at all. That is for sure. Yeah. Okay. So now, see, again, I love pinless, but customizers like pins. Now, see, that's something I didn't realize. And someone had, I forget what stream I was watching, but someone on one of the streams had mentioned that, and they said, yeah, they're really bad for customizers. And it does make sense. It definitely does make sense. Matthew asks, oops, that's space hold. Matthew asks here, no love for new TMNT trailer. Didn't even see it. Looks like Rise with Rogan being involved. It'll be filled with hate and vitriol. I didn't even know they dropped a new trailer. Man, I gotta say, since I started doing the live, man, I watch a lot less TV and YouTube. I watch stuff on giving you guys a better experience. Kind of crazy. Let's remove this right now. So, oh, you know what I did forget to mention right now. If you guys don't know, and I don't know how you guys could be in this chat and not know, Hasbro Pulse is having that warehouse deal. I'm not sure how long it goes for. I think it's 30% off if you're not Hasbro Pulse Premium member, 35% off if you are. Again, it all depends on. Sorry, guys. Forgot to text my ex something for my son. And by the time I'm done here, it's going to be what time? Too late. And before you ask the question, why can't he just text her? Well, that would be way too easy for him. So I do apologize for this. This is what happens when you got to do something on your own, which I'm doing. So let me send this really quick and let her know. Ask him. Sorry, guys. A little bit into my life. Look, as I mentioned, my ex and my dog says Roman loves my ex. Just like he's so happy that we see her. Come here, say hi again. Okay, you need to go out. I know that. Hold on 1 second. I'm about to yell for one of my kids to let the dog out, and you guys don't want to hear it. All right. Not only is he whining like he needs to go out, he's at that point where he's letting everyone know it's time that he's got to go out. Anyway, I absolutely forgot what the hell I was talking about. So anyway, let's see what else was there. Oh, so then there's the let's see, the Star Wars retros, and I know Toy Habits. Shout out to them and coming back with their live stream. I've talked to Michael a few times, and I like talking to Michael. And I gotta say, the stream, if you haven't watched it, I think they're gonna be on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's way different with him and Toy Sorceress than with him and Larry. With him and Larry, it seemed, in my opinion, a little bit more, a little more boring. Michael seems to have way more personality when he's on with Toy Sorceress, and I've actually noticed that when he's done some streams with some other people. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. They were on for the first time again Saturday. So I think it's something that you may enjoy. Let's see here. BMW says, I see something about Pitbull. I gotta mention it here. So my Pitbulls love Roman. They always run the TV when they hear him. Yeah, they're probably running the TV going, that owner is so mean. He doesn't let everyone out there. No, not retro blasting. Michael from Toy Habits. Okay, so Michael from Toy Habits. I don't have it up there yet. So this site here, this is Toy Habits. So they used to do a stream. They never seemed to be really consistent. I may be wrong. They never seemed to be really consistent, but they were always doing their website. They did all kinds of different things, and it's what I use all the time. I don't really follow retro blasting, and I'm not going to get into that because I really don't want to get back and forth. But not a big fan of his channel, although he has some really good stuff when it comes to the older stuff. But no, Michael, I don't know his last name. I don't know if he ever says his last name. But yeah, Michael, Toy Sorceress from Toy Habits. Again, so this is their site. Now they did get the retro cards in, and I'm glad to see that the Star Wars fans are getting the same treatment as us G.I. Joe fans with the sloppy, crappy card stock that they're giving everyone. They got a bunch of stuff from Entertainment Earth. And if it's coming from EE, you got to think, well, there's 96 people, and we may hit 100 people. We may hit 100, but that may be because this is also streaming on Twitter and on the Facebook page. If you're not part of the Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, go join it. It's small, it's tiny, it's broken, but it's Ohana, it's family. That was me just going on. Every time I say small and tiny, I have to refer to Lilo and Stitch. So anyway, I'm not a big Star Wars fan when it comes to collecting toys. I gotta say, when I see these here, there is Tony. This is my favorite Tony Romo. You know what? If this Tony Romo here, if he was on the call for football, I might actually listen to it. But anyway, I guess they're having the same issue, crappy cards. But I gotta say, looking at these here, man, I loved this. Just looking at this, man, it brings me back to my childhood. Like getting this Luke figure. Not a big fan of their website. Too many pop-ups. This is how you pay for your money, and I guess I'm going to use it for free. But anyway, I can't really. Every time I try and use this, it's very difficult during the stream here. Anyway, it's easy when it's back here. But anyway, I don't know if anyone's ordered stuff, but again, messed up card backs. The card stock is awful. Again, Hasbro, just get your shit together. I don't understand why this is so damn difficult for so many people. It's just like people just don't, or Hasbro obviously just doesn't care. And again, it kind of goes into the short topic that I will have. At least something like BlackBerry or Nintendo. But looking at this wave, I gotta say here, I love the Bosch and I love the Lando. This Lando is probably my favorite Star Wars figure of all time, even over Boba Fett. And if you've ever followed, I think I got it up. I had a Boba Fett license plate, customized license plate for. I had it in my 95 Neon, so since 95. And I had it for about 8 or 9 years, and I finally gave it up. But I always loved this Lando in Skiff Guard. But it looks like, according to Toy Habits here, I don't know how they uncover the stuff, but the Duplico is going to be a Walmart exclusive. A complete dead brand that's going to have Walmart exclusives. If you notice that Scott, the way he words things, the guru, now he's saying it's, toys are 3 years in advance. So he's basically giving it 3 years. 98 people in the stream right now. We might hit 100. And I don't want to say anything, but the giveaway. How is there 98 people in the stream? 97 now. But I only had 66 entries. And yes, I know some of you guys, as I said, I can't ship internationally because, God, it's just too expensive. But anyway, so there's Duplico here, who looks like Duke if they turned him into a Masters of the Universe figure. I know they had a whole bunch of different names for him. Who else might look like? So, a lot of people are getting the retro Zartan. I think Storm Shadow. I think Bobby B's Battlegrounds. If you're not following him, you should be. I believe I know he did the Snake Eyes and the Crimson Guard. And I know he said he had the Storm Shadow. And I don't know if he got Zartan or not. So, if you're not following him, go check out B's Battleground. Guy does some fun stuff, has a 60-year-old man's voice, and the guy's anything but a 60-year-old. And then you have the Many-Face figure, mystery figure found. So, looks like, from what they're showing here, it's a Walmart exclusive. So, I don't understand how Mattel and Masters of the Universe decides to do their figures. What's going to be exclusive? Obviously, you get a lot of exclusives that go to Target. Now you get a lot of exclusives goes to Walmart. Will they stay at Walmart? I have no idea. But I'm going to stand by what I have said for quite some time. If you're like, if you like Masters of the Universe, if you like Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe, whatever it is, Masterverse especially, unless if it's a figure you feel like you have to have, man, I would just wait it out. Because Amazon or Target is going to have it clearanced. It's just how it's been with everything. We did hit 99 people. I still haven't seen it hit 100. I would love to see it hit 100. Believe me, I chart everything. I don't do charts, but I watch how the channel has grown. And thank you to every single one of you. And there's so many new people in here. Obviously, if there's 98 people watching right now. So anyway, hit that like button. I'll mention it again. And while I'm on my own soapbox, in the description, you're always going to see something for Entertainment Earth where you get 10% off anything in stock and free shipping $59. Sounds like everyone else, but also Amazon, the Amazon affiliate. I do earn commission. I have to say that according to, I believe the FCC says you have to say. So if you ever order anything through any of my Amazon affiliates, understand I do commission. I do get commission for it. Yes, 99. Come on, there's not, well, I guess I can't say there's not just one more person. But I should have 99 likes, right? How many likes do we got, guys? I don't think Matthew's in too much right now. He's dealing with something, so he said he's not gonna be completely around. He has 65 likes. How hard is it? When you guys, let me explain something. When you hit the like, guys, it tells YouTube, it pushes this out. It tells YouTube, hey, you know what? People are enjoying this. It is the best way to help grow the channel. Everyone loves the super chats. Who doesn't? I mean, it's you guys, saying, hey, you know what? Here's $1. Here's $2. We enjoy your content, but the algorithm, the algorithm and everything, it tells YouTube to push it out. So anyway, hit that like button, everyone. And like I said, I watch and see where it's going. And again, there's a lot of people that think this is supposed to be competition. Man, it's not competition. There is more than enough YouTube for all of us. Spamming the dislike button as we speak. Hey, you know what? It's still showing that you're here. I've heard other YouTubers talking about it. Tony from Analog Toys a couple weeks ago, he kind of went off on it and he said, dude, if you're coming into a chat and you're hitting dislike, you realize you're still telling YouTube I'm watching this show. And if you truly dislike a show, I don't know why you watch it. Now, I'm not the best one to say because there's sometimes I watch something. I may not like the people. I may not like it, but they give me good information and stuff that I do want to hear. But again, if you're hitting dislike, you still, and I don't think you really are. I don't think you really are, Lone Dragon. But it is kind of funny. Like, people think like, oh, I'm going to send a message. The only message you're sending is that, hey, I still was here to watch it. And YouTube's going, all right, well, let's just send it out. We don't even show dislikes. The only people that see dislikes are me. And I have to go, there's different ways. And it's not even that easy to find them. So anyway, that's that. Kind of went over the Mo2. So let's get to the G.I. Joe Super 7. And tomorrow, like I don't have any videos coming out, I'm going to drop a link kind of reminding you. If you guys want to go watch my Super 7 video for the SDCC bat. I did have someone ask me earlier today, they haven't responded yet, about, what do I think about the new ones or have I gotten them? I have no intention of getting Super 7 ones. I'm not saying I'll never buy anything. I'll never buy another Ultimate again. I'm not going to say that. But at their price point and what they give you, it's just trash. And for what they're giving you and for the attitude that the owner has, and I mentioned before, I really want to like Super 7. They're punks. They're skateboarders. I mean, seriously, it's right up my alley. But then you give us trash. The plastic feels like trash. When something doesn't look right, you go, well, what are you supposed to do? If you guys want to really see a first reaction, go watch my Tiger video. You can watch. It's if you ever watch The Simpsons, where they talk about the moment, I believe you see that you can see, is it Millhouse or the kid, the sergeant's son, like the moment you can see his heart actually break when Lisa turns him down. I think you can actually see the moment I turned on Super 7 and how much I just started to hate them. But again, I quickly looked at some of the stuff. Ralph, yes. Hold on one second. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Ugh. My son and if my son and his mother could get along, it would be way better. Give me one moment. You guys chat among each other. We're coming back to Super Oh, okay. Hi, Roman, you back? No, I'm not letting you out again. Or they're not.
Your dog's insane.
Yes, I know he's insane.
I literally gave him a fry. He bit my whole hand.
Okay. Well, you should give him a bigger fry. And I don't know where you get a fry from.
I gave him multiple fries.
Listen. You guys hear this? This is Olivia. You want to come say hi? Why don't you come say hi? Since you're already here. Hey, come on, just say hi.
Oh my god, I'm flattered.
Come on, come say hi.
Oh my god, I'm flattered.
Yeah, this is my daughter. Say hi, okay? Now go take care of the dog and me.
Why? He just went out. I'm not
Okay. Go. No, do you want to go outside? Go outside. Let's go outside. See? Sorry, guys. Listen. I'm a one-man show. Literally a one-man show. I don't want to say that. Matthew helps me out, but in my house, I'm a one-man show. You know? Even though I have a great relationship with my ex, I'm like, hey, it's everything falls on me. Anyway, yeah, you want to fry too? Everyone wants to fry, you know, but you got to bite her whole hand. She said Roman bit her whole hand. Like, listen, you must have given him a small fry. I will feed him tater tots. That dog is, yeah, kids, am I right? Exactly, Boomstick. That's exactly it right there. Kids, am I right? You know, like, damn, like, seriously. You know, and I did hit it. You know, I hit yours, yet Baldy Lots comes up. The family shenanigans on the dog makes me straight. You know what? I'm glad you guys enjoy it, because I don't think I could do it anyway. Any other way. There's just not. You know, funny story about like a Cobra Law here asking like, where's my damn fries? Funny story is that many years ago, my ex, she worked at the company that I worked for, and she I was running a Taco Bell, and all of a sudden, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, I get a text from my boss going, yeah, pick me up this and that. I went, what? And she had accidentally texted him, hey, can you grab me this and this while you're at Taco Bell? And he was like, you texted the wrong person. So he knew that I was like in the line, and he's like shooting me a text telling me to pick it up. Of course, he lives like an hour away. So, but anyway, that's just me. Yeah. Yep, that's just it. Yep. Parenting when embarrassing a child in front of 90 plus strangers. What's actually kind of funny is that girl does not really get that embarrassed, but I could tell she was a little, and she knows that she can't embarrass me. But my kids know, like, they can't embarrass me. It'd be almost impossible. So anyway, back to Super 7 and their G.I. Joe. And when I say Super 7, I definitely do say it with a $sign as that S. Hold on. Listen. Action J, I don't think I've ever seen you in here before, and you drop in with a, just like my dog, as soon as I get on a virtual meeting for work. Exactly. Like, I don't know if you've been listening the whole time. I took an hour nap. And I woke up at 8 o'clock, started getting everything ready. Didn't come in my room one time. Didn't bother me. How my son actually came in here and looked for him. And of course, like the moment he starts hearing me, boom, he's coming in. And he'll just go back and forth. He literally comes in and wants to go outside. And he just came in from outside. Like, no one asked you to come in. But anyway, back to the Super 7. Someone had Super 7 in hand shots. Where are they? Yeah. I'm starting to think some of these. Oh, here they are. So, getting back to their awful articulation, and that's being kind, I believe. This Duke, I'm kind of on the fence about how he looks. And we'll add it to the stream here. One of the faces looks decent, but then at certain angles, it just looks like his face is absolutely stretched out. And I don't just mean the screaming one. Man, I know I'm trying to use someone else's website, but unfortunately, I'm always like struggling anytime I pull up the toy habits here. Okay, so looking at it like this one right here, like this face just looks awful, and at certain angles, they just don't look very good. Um, they look good for what we've seen, in all honesty, from Super 7 recently. I was expecting Duke's face to come out looking like the Power Rangers face, to be honest, or Andre the Giants, because their stuff has been such trash. So I actually don't think they look all that bad. I don't think they look great either. But when I hear such a waste, Cobra Lyle is such a waste, I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. How is it, like, again? Yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. And when I see, I mean, there's a lot of people that want cartoon accurate. I don't really care. I'm not a huge cartoon accurate. For me, it more comes from the comic. That's where the lore is. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff in the cartoon. Yeah, Dad, he says looks cheap. Yes, and you would know after buying me the USS Flag back in '85, along with 8 shipwrecks, you would know it looks cheap, and you know that doesn't. Let's see here. So Troy says, I hate. Troy says Cobra Commander's head better than expected, but it's not complicated sculpt. The Duke is mad. That's exactly how I felt. I know Geek Dad Live, John and Jay, they talk about it all the time, that Super 7 cannot seem to get the heads right. And that's not true for the fact that that's not true, because when they show you the prototypes, they look pretty good. But then they go into production and they look bad. Action-Verse Duster is Albatross. Yeah, it's not that good. It does not look like Tim Kennedy. And I do think it's kind of funny when I hear the Valaverse shows making fun of how bad Falcon looks. And I'm like, how come everyone forgot about Tim Kennedy? Because that just doesn't look like Tim Kennedy at all. The Screaming Face actually looks better, believe it or not. Where all those $300 vehicles, am I right? Man, you guys are all getting ahead of yourselves here, man. We're going to get to Valaverse, man. We are into the 10 o'clock hour, so everyone will be doing the giveaway soon. Buddy, I can't do it right now. Listen, you just came in. I love you. I love you, buddy. I do. I love you, but can you go lay down? You got 2 more hours. Let's get rid of it. What? Come up here and say hi again. All right? Okay. All right. I love you too. I clicked on someone. Okay. But I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. All right? All right. Can I go back to doing what I was doing? Go lay down. Go lay down. Come on. Go lay down. Then go see one of the other kids. No. This is crazy. Like, honestly, this is absolutely crazy. I like it. You know, Troy, I like hearing from you. You seem to have a lot of good thoughts here. Whoever is currently doing face sculpts at Super 7 for the Ultimates is not nailing human head sculpts right now. No, like I said, some of them look decent until they get into production, and then it's just like all goes absolutely completely downhill. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, I think the Cobra Commander looks pretty decent, but I agree. Like when you do, you know, like when Star Wars does like a Stormtrooper, it's not hard to get the Stormtrooper right. They already have it. The Clone Trooper, whatever. Boba Fett. Well, Boba Fett, you know, let's get the Boba Fett tax. So yeah, I think Duke is just kind of meh. it does not look exactly like the cartoon. I know people will say nothing's going to look exactly, but you're paying for it to look exactly, and that's what they were trying. I wish people would stop trying to do the Screaming Duke. I don't know who's asking for Screaming Duke. I know I'm not. Not in any form. Not in 4-inch, not in 6-inch, not in 7-inch. Here we got Snake Eyes. And then you have Timber. And why is the articulation so bad on Timber, who has to be bigger than the classified Timber, right? He has no waist articulation. He has the same articulation, from what I can tell, as the same as the wolves in the Blind Woodsman pack, which is kind of a cool little pack because we never got anything like that. But why is it that that's the articulation? This is your ultimate. Why are you not doing a little more? Again, another very plain figure. And I understand that he is what the comic had or the cartoon had, but again, just it's not something that I want to spend $55 on. And anyone that's that wants to, I mean, good for you. I mean, it's your money, and if it makes you happy. And when I see people trying to cram these into classified, or people trying to show the different scales, I don't think a lot of people understand that Super 7 runs on a 7-inch scale. They don't fit 6-inch. I saw someone in one of the Facebook groups say, "Oh, I heard that Hasbro has a license on 6-inch figures. That's why no one else is doing G.I. Joe 6-inch figures." And I was like, "No, all those Super 7s are 7-inch. Mezco's doing 6-inch G.I. Joe, and sometimes I don't think people realize like Hasbro owns G.I. Joe, so that's why there's not a bunch of companies doing G.I. Joe." And then here's the bat. Now I gotta say here, if you watch my video, you know my feelings on this here. Mine came missing something, but it looks like they made a change to where the headpiece, so the neck actually comes out rather than the head just being swapped. I don't believe that's how the bat is. I believe it's just the head that swaps. And it's super loosey-goosey. If Crash is still in here, I'll let him go off on a rant about it because he just kind of went off on it. But my bat had like warped weapons. Like you can see the warpature on this rifle right here. It just, and I see people trying to cram. They were trying to cram the SDCC bat. Like it doesn't fit. It's way bigger than the Ultimates. It's like a 1/2 inch bigger. So it's looking at being 7.5 inches, almost 8 inches. It does not fit. It completely towers over the classified bat, which is already extremely big. So, yeah, Jeffrey Smith. I get my mouse to go over there. Yeah, Jeffrey Smith says it like, yeah, screaming faces look off and out of shape. They do. And again, you with a 7-inch scale, you'd be able to do it a little bit better, right? And it's kind of funny that I see you mentioned Screaming Face, and then all of a sudden, here is Screaming Skull, who is new to the channel, Screaming Skull Salon, 1985 Crimson Guard builder here. Can't wait for the Crimson Bat to release. Well, I have it, and you better get ready to tighten some joints because it feels like they kind of messed up with some of the joints and everything. Kind of disappointed. It looks awesome. The Crimson Bat looks absolutely awesome. I don't understand why everyone hates. I don't understand why everyone hates bats that were never created in different paint schemes. I don't care. Like, it looks awesome. I think it looks awesome. All right, so there's a Super 7. I have been rambling on for quite some time, and we haven't even gotten into the two biggest things that we're going to be talking about. And we also haven't done, there's a lot of stuff we haven't done. Again, if you're new here, then understand it is completely rambling. Here's another thing. I will mention this again. I've heard other YouTubers, like smaller channels. I've heard people talk about like I don't understand why, when it comes to chats, people only like some of the bigger channels they'll only answer super chats. And I gotta say this: still being a smaller channel, but how having 90 people in here and watching this thing go, and really, I look at the chats. It's crazy. I look at the chat, the percentage. The reason why so many don't answer all the chats here, they only answer super chats, is because you're obviously paying, to support the channel and have your chat, but it is hard to keep up. It is extremely hard to keep up. And at this rate right now, what we're doing, I have to figure out with another moderator possibly, but figuring out a way to get Matthew as being a producer where he can highlight and star certain stuff. But that's something behind the scenes, and I gotta talk to him about it. So anyway, that's that. So I guess now let's quickly talk about what's going to be talked about tomorrow. Our kind of predictions. I want to quickly get through this. Actually, I don't even care. I can throw the giveaway in really quick. I said it's going to happen between 10 and 11. Again, if you guys have been here, you probably know it's going to happen closer to 11. We haven't hit 100 yet. All right. Listen, I'm watching the growth of this channel and watching the growth of this stream. It humbles me that you guys tune in to just hear me ramble on. I was telling Matthew earlier today, I go, sometimes I don't feel like I know what the hell I'm doing. My channel, this live stream is very underproduced compared to a lot of other people's, but I think that's what you guys like. Like I said, I'm going to do a topic maybe even next week. I think it depends on how much my Joe stuff is really thrown out there. But I think I'm going to do one that's kind of dedicated to the YouTubers and the other content creators. Because again, for me, like there's no competition, man. Competition, it really should only breed better streams, better videos, ways to push yourself. There's more than enough YouTube for everyone. Again, anyone can watch the stream anytime they want. They don't have to be live. Although I definitely do appreciate it. And again, I wasn't stupid when I said I'm not doing it Tuesday and I'm definitely not doing it Sunday. Because I'm not going up against Eat Dead Life because they are a little juggernaut. It's kind of an oxymoron of words put together. But anyway, that's me going off on. But again, I'm so thankful for everyone that tunes in. Again, I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Hell, you guys probably watch me going, hell, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going to have enough to talk about. This week, and so much stuff just kind of wrote for itself. So anyway, let's talk about the stream tomorrow and what we think we might be seeing. I know some other channels have talked about it. But again, we're one-on-one. I'm going to try and watch the chat right now and see what's going on. You know what? Hey, can you give me a custom? Can you give me I'll show it off. Can you get me a Lawrence and Romo custom? I mean, I got the same mustache, right? And I'm sure you can find more than enough pictures of Roman on social media to know exactly what he looks like. No, I'm not that guy. I don't have a P.O. box. I don't ask for people to send me stuff for free while saying I don't ask for things to be sent free. You know the types of people that I'm talking about. I don't ask anyone. So anyway, the stream tomorrow. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to see the actual figures for the next wave that are going to be coming out. Maybe they'll actually announce when the U.S. will be getting the wave that the Crimson wave, what would we call the Outback wave, the Falcon wave, whatever. But I am hoping that tomorrow we're going to start seeing the Firefly that they talked about, version 1 Firefly, Hawk, Let's see. Matthew says here, Hasbro will reveal Hawk and a vehicle. Well, what vehicle are they going to show, Matthew? Do you have some insight that you're not telling me? I'm the moderator. Cobra says he's most excited about Shadow Tracker because I didn't get the 50th. I want to say this. I like that they're doing Shadow Tracker, Helix. I know people don't like it, but it's like I don't just want recreations of what we had in the 80s. It's cool, but I don't need the exact recreation. And here I'm telling you when I'm saying the figure I'm most excited to see is a retro Firefly. But I'm also talking about how I like the new Firefly. But I like, again, I've never been a rock and roll fan. I like the fact that, oh, you're right. It is Wednesday. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, so it'll be Wednesday. Sorry, the 8th is Wednesday. Sorry, guys. Everything's all messed up. Everything's all messed up for me. Yeah. But anyway, Wednesday, tomorrow, doesn't matter. It'll be on when I'm not on. I really want the Firefly. I you know what, that I did a whole video on that. Was one of the first videos that I did because I was getting into the 6-inch. I really only collected, G.I. Joe, and I collected stuff in the past, but that was I bought that. I did a whole video on it. Believe it or not, that video actually did really well for someone who had never done YouTube before. But I think it had more to do with Fortnite than anything. But those Fortnite figures are... Oh. You just picked up Viper Island Firefly? Somewhere there's a joke there. Joke Cola totally retro. Okay, I'm totally missing something. Unless you're talking about what I'm drinking here. That's Aldi Cola because I'm cheap or poor. I don't know. I'm one or the other. I wouldn't say I'm cheap. I'm poor or broke. Let's see. General Powers. General Powers, enjoy your opinion. Good luck on your shows. It almost sounds like you're talking to yourself, but I think you're talking to me, and thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. There are so many people in here that I know are not in the drawing, and I'm not really sure how to address that. If I should put you guys in, I should ask if you guys want to do it. Yes. As he said, nah, I'm just a punk. That is very true. A punk ass, that is. Let's see. Exactly, Lawrence. I went to the Extreme Sergeant Savage Sigma 6 and Hasbro brand formerly known as Action Force introduced the Classified series. So I'm kind of on the fence with stuff like that with the Extreme Sergeant Savage. I don't really mind the Sergeant Savage because it really reminds me of Sergeant Rock. But I think, like, if you took those designs and you put them into Classified so they scale with the Classified, I think it might be pretty cool. It's the same way that I don't care for like new Masters of the Universe or anything like that. But when they scale them with the Origins, I think it's really good because now you're combining them all. You're combining everything into one scale. So it's like, hey, if you like that figure, great. So I really wouldn't mind that. I didn't like any of the other stuff because they were different scale compared to the O-ring. But if you're going to give me all one scale, I think you might have a lot of really cool looking designs. And I know people get really, really aggravated over it, but I do find it kind of enjoyable, like to see something new. Let's see, Viper Scout here says, Valaverse Venom had a bunch of good redesigns. I agree. horrible articulation. And I do want to say this, and I know Matthew's going to laugh when I say this. When I was watching the Full Force, he kept saying Valaverse Venom. And I kept thinking, why does he keep talking about Valaverse? But he was saying Valaverse. You really need to stop. Valaverse Venom. It really sounded like he was saying Valaverse Venom the whole time. But he's talking about like a Valaverse figure. You know, not Valaverse, but Valaverse. You're embarrassed for him. You're embarrassed for Chris. I'm not sure why you would say that. I think he's doing pretty good. I've mentioned before, I like Chris. I'm not sure if he really cares for my sense of humor. Jack, you asked. Yes, I will put you in. Give me 1 second. I know. Last time I said I wasn't going to do this, but I like having more people. So I know there's other ways. You see everyone else, they do it. I like drumming up and giving everyone time to do this. So Jack, Stubble. I just lost my screen. Give me a second, guys. I'm not getting anything because I just lost my stream. Wow. Oh, the power button. Sorry, guys. I told you I moved everything around. Like, holy crap, dude. No problem. Hey, no problem. Listen, I like all this. Wow. Okay. So Jack, you are in it. Show's over. I only lost one screen. I only lost one monitor. And so I hit the power button. I was trying to do it. Cornelius asked quickly here. Hey, Cornelius asked, do you think the sci-fi and Flash should come with Nerf guns? No, I don't. I don't think any of them should come with Nerf guns. I think that you have a nice laser rifle that you could use. I've never been a big fan of that stuff as it is. New York, you're not late to the party. It's just getting started. We haven't done the drawing. We haven't done nothing yet. As you might imagine. But yeah, like I'm really interested to see everything that's going to be announced. And they're going to have more reveals. But I am hoping to see Hawk. Now, are we going to get General Hawk or Colonel Hawk? I'm going to laugh. I'm going to tell you, if it's Colonel Hawk, I'm going to say that there's somebody in Hasbro that's feeding stuff to Bobby, considering he just brought out Colonel Courage or Colonel, I don't know, what's his name? I don't know. Whatever his Colonel dude is. Digital Diarrhea is in the house. Another channel member. Nice to see you. Again, I love seeing everyone kind of jump in here. Again, great chat, great stream today. The biggest stream so far. We were so close to hitting 100. I hit 99, I think, a couple times. What are we doing on the? Let's see. What are we doing on the likes? Because we should have at least 90 likes by now, right? 83, pretty close, right? There's been obviously more than 100 people in here. Where the hell is Bobby B at? Bobby B could have put us at that 100. But no Bobby yet. No articulated Chad. Siege, Colonel Siege, that's it. I think it looks really good. We're going to get into Valaverse in a second. Anyway, is there anyone else that, like, what do you guys, anyone interested in anything else? I think right here, this General Colton, this is exactly what they need to do. They need to bring in something, they need to do something like that. And I mentioned I would not mind them doing movie 6-inch figures. as awful as that Snake Eyes movie was, as a G.I. Joe movie, the figures are not bad. They could have been better, and they were, a little underwhelming with the accessories they came with. But I wouldn't mind to see some of the actual movie figures. You can cram them into your display. I mean, hell, I got Marvel Legends crammed into one. I got all the Valaverse and everything. So yeah, here we're back up to 97, guys. Listen, if you can't tell, I'm really hoping right now to hit 100. Let's see here. Cobra says Bobby is somewhere bitching about something. Yeah, and he shouldn't be, because he he threw out a lot of stuff this weekend. I don't know if he needed to be called. I mean, to me, it's just a big long stream. It's a big long stream. Retro J does big long streams all week long also. Digital Diarrhea, I kind of hit on the warehouse sale. It's 30% off if you're not a member. If you're a Pulse Premium member, 35% off. I didn't really go through it because I don't need to be adding anything that is out of my range. The kids and I are supposed to be going to Disney World in July, and I haven't even figured out how I'm going to pay for it yet. So buying more things, and believe me, Matthew knows the amount of things that I do the impulse buy. Like, I did the Warriors of the Animal Kingdom. I didn't even tell him I bought that, to be honest. And then you have, obviously, the Headless Horseman. I pre-ordered the Headless Horseman. I figure I have the 2024 to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. As Geek Dead Life always says, it's a future J problem. That's a future Punk problem. We'll figure out how we're going to come up with that. The rest of the money for the Headless Horseman, but I actually like the way this one looks better than the other because it's glow in the dark. I really like glow in the dark stuff. But man, the Headless Horseman looks so awesome. Okay, so Chaz here. Let's Chaz says he's got some of the TVC 4-packs. So how are they? Like, how's the packaging and everything? Because we're already seeing, amazing things about how bad this stuff is. Chaz is, and you got another Viper 3-pack. Yeah, those Viper 3-packs. I mean, you really got to get them on Amazon once they're, yeah. Oh, so let's see. I kind of quickly want to see what's going on here, because now we're obviously talking about some stuff here. Matthew says that nobody's butt hurt. I hate how slow this thing, man, this thing drives me nuts. You guys can understand how bad the StreamYard is, and I don't think it's my computer. Nobody's butt hurt. Bobby is hypocritical about a few things. He bitches, but ends up doing the exact same things. He also burns bridges whenever. Yeah, I mean, I want to stay out of the controversy with that. We all know how that can go, but he does seem to burn a lot of bridges, unfortunately. He doesn't seem to really care to. Like, he doesn't really seem to care that he's doing it. But yeah. All right, so let's just get into this. Let's see, Fraud Collectibles just showed up. Palpatine, another channel member, just showed up. And then we got Fraud Collectibles. Greetings. Use Streamlabs. Yeah, I've already purchased this, and I know how to use this. And if you caught me earlier than you realize, I like it. It's I don't know if it's the computer that's slow on everything. I don't have enough time to screw around with everything. But anyway, next week we're going to have all kinds of G.I. Joe stuff to talk about. So let's get into quickly we don't. Since we're talking about it, I'm gonna quickly So I want to preface what I said about the Hasbro, Hasbro going the way of BlackBerry. I'm not saying that Hasbro is BlackBerry. And actually, there was someone in the chat that said, "Hey, not in this chat, but he posted on it. He said, we're back to 99, guys. Come on, Bobby B, come on, where are you? Someone text someone and say, hey, turn on this channel so we can get 100. So anyway, I'm gonna get to the topic, and then we're gonna talk about Valaverse and all the stuff that they popped out. I am not running Windows ME. All right, Vic, I'm not running Windows ME. You know, I hate you guys. So anyway, so the reason why I said, is Hasbro going to be the next BlackBerry? Could Hasbro be the next Nintendo? And I know a lot of people will say, you know, Nintendo's doing really well. But Nintendo was the juggernaut. Sega, anytime Sega tried to do something, they got knocked out. Anyone that is in the professional world, had a BlackBerry, you know that they were a juggernaut. And I remember when iPhone first came out, Apple got into it. You know, you had anyone that's dealt with Apple products knows they are not good for any type of server-based environment because they don't have servers. iPhones do not communicate with servers, not server-based. Where Microsoft Exchange, BlackBerry just had this, they had a hold on everything. Yes, Sega Genesis does what Nintendo doesn't, and what that was not win. What that was it does not win. 102 people. Thank you to everyone. Right now, everyone 102 are like, dude, are you guys going to get strong or not? But Hasbro here has been this juggernaut. And there's no way Valaverse, Four Horsemen Studios, Boss Fight Studios, Marauder, like none of these are going to overtake them. But someone like Mattel could. And what these, yeah, right here. So Action J said, BlackBerry, I think you mean held 80% of the smartphone market. And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, that's what I was saying to my boss. I'm like, listen, they don't have, they don't integrate their servers. I mean, BlackBerry had, no one could have ever thought touch was going to be so good. No one was ever going to think that you could pick up your phone, and just have a keyboard that's virtual and it works so well. BlackBerry had a wonderful phone. And those BlackBerries, they were tanks. I'd go to the gym and I never had a case on it. When I see someone with an iPhone that doesn't have a case, I'm just like, you just want to break your phone? You just want to throw money away? How about I give you a case and you just give me $100 every time you break that glass? But that BlackBerry, I'd go to the gym and I just throw it down. No, Chaz. Where's this comment here? Let's see here. Chaz, no. I know you said 102. Now show us your tits. Nope, I don't show the tits until I get the sex box. And then I'll give you guys all a little shot of nipples if you want. So anyway, BlackBerry was just rolling along. All right. The same way like Nextel was, but Nextel had their gimmick of, and I had Nextels too. And it was the same way Nintendo was. They got arrogant. They thought no one could beat them. No one could do anything. But then, sure enough, they let someone else into the industry. And it was such their arrogance. And my question, not my question, I'm just wondering, with this asshole that's in charge at Hasbro, and he's an asshole, could he be doing the exact same thing to Hasbro that happened to BlackBerry? Which I just found out BlackBerry is still around, which kind of shocked me. Nintendo, they had a partnership with Sega. You go watch the documentary. They had a partnership with Sega, and they pulled out to do something with, God, who was, it never went anywhere. They didn't want to go with discs. I didn't want them to go with discs. I thought it was stupid. I love Nintendo. Like, when I play video games, I play Nintendo. I still believe they make the best first-party games. You know, Mario, Metroid, Zelda, all that stuff. All their first-party games are top-notch. It was everything else they did was awful. Nintendo was so powerful, they said, hey, if you want to make games for our system, well, then that's on you. BlackBerry did the same thing. When apps started coming on, they said, hey, you know what? If you want to make apps, you'll figure out how to make them for ours. Where Apple said, hey, you know what? Do it. Android opened it up. I used to jailbreak my iPhone all the time. I used to jailbreak my iPhone because there's so much more stuff that it could do, and Android was allowing me to do it. And BlackBerry they tried staying in that business market, but once everything changed, where it's like you didn't need to do that, your iPhone integrated with more than enough stuff because everyone started using the cloud. They were able to pretty much eliminate BlackBerry. They were able to hurt them, completely take them out, and just eradicate them. Where you have Nintendo, who not only did they let Sony come in, but then Microsoft said, hey, you know what? We want to come in, and we're going to jump in. We have all the money. And you're like, well, how are they going to jump over Nintendo? And they blew right by Nintendo. And they went head-to-head with Sony. And Nintendo had to completely redo the thing. I know I'm jumping back and forth between BlackBerry and Nintendo, but I think they are both really comparable to the discussion that I wanted to have. And that is the fact that you had these juggernauts that thought that they could never be taken down. And unfortunately, there were two other companies when it came to video games. And I guess you say two other companies, Android and iPhone, which Apple integrated everything, that they really said, hey, you know what? We overtook it. Now, Nintendo did a complete course correction. And even though Nintendo may be third, and they're by third by a large margin, they are still huge. There's no risk of them going out of business, especially with these new, figures and everything. I mean, they have a lot of media products, and I believe they're now going to have exhibits at, and I've been saying they should do this for quite some time, at Universal Studios. Universal Studios really needs to get rid of that marble. Though they have a contract that Disney can't use it at Disney until the contract is over. They really need to just transition, get something new in there. And BlackBerry, it's just gone. They've completely, destroyed that. Hasbro, wait, hold on. Ronan Jim says, how much of Hasbro do you think Disney owns? They don't own any of it. Disney has their own problems. Now, what Disney does have, and it's not even Disney, Disney owns obviously Lucasfilms, and they own Marvel, but they are separate entities. Same with Pixar. So that's why they go out and they get their own deals. So they're obviously, when you're looking at when you get to looking at the way the contract is structured, clearly Star Wars, the royalties must be outrageous, because they don't give you half of what they're not able to give you half of what even Marvel Legends gives in Hasbro. And I think it hurts them. But the product can't go anywhere else. They have such a huge library. No one else can really take it. But Disney has nothing to do with Hasbro. They just have a big chunk of product that's made. But if Disney actually owned Hasbro, you wouldn't see Pixar stuff being made by Mattel in other places. A lot of their other products are made elsewhere by other companies. Because if they own that, like everything would just be produced through there. To be honest, they probably do a better job. I mean, right now, Hasbro's just a complete cluster. They're a complete nightmare right now. So we're at 10:41. So that was really okay. So anyway, yeah. So that was really my discussion with this. I just kind of wanted to mention, could Hasbro? I mean, could you guys see Hasbro doing something like that? It's hard to imagine Hasbro not being number one. But I could tell you this: if Hasbro starts to slip, and it seems like they are, and they continue, and let's just say like Mattel just kind of overtakes them by just a little bit. That's all it takes. It took Sony just a little bit to overtake Nintendo, and then it was just a landslide. That's when they just started to completely crush them. Go back to, perfect example. The WWF was the juggernaut of wrestling. Let's be honest. Vince McMahon made professional wrestling. I know he wasn't the originator. And what happened was WCW took him on. And they just started going on and on, buying characters that were already developed. But once they ran into this wall where they didn't know how to create anyone, the WWF and Vince McMahon came back. And once they were able to overtake them in the Monday Night Wars, I know it didn't happen like the moment it happened. Like the moment they got past them in the ratings again, it really was never, they were never looking back. They went back and forth a little bit, but then it just became a complete onslaught. No, Vince Russo did not kill WCW. He just was never going to help them. I'm assuming you probably listened to the podcast, Something to Wrestle With. I would hope you do. A great insight. I mean, even though Bruce Pritchard pretty much hates Vince Russo, but then again, who doesn't? Vince Russo, listen, he had great ideas, but he had a lot of bad ideas. Vince McMahon was the one who figured out what they were. Eric Bischoff bought he bought characters that were already created. The only character that they created was Goldberg, who was just a copycat of, I love this. I like this. It was a copycat of Austin, but couldn't wrestle, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. Koko B. Ware was the goat. Quick story about Koko B. Ware. I'll never forget this. He teamed up with the Killer Bees, and if you remember the Killer Bees, they would roll out, put masks on, so you wouldn't know which one it was. They were doing a 3-man tag, and they rolled out with Koko B. Ware. They all put masks on, and Koko B. Ware got in. And I remember my dad and I laughing because we're like, no one can understand the black man with big bright outfit isn't one of the Killer Bees. Okay. The Shockmaster, dude. They created the Shockmaster. If you guys don't know who the Shockmaster is, look up the Shockmaster. Watch what happens. And then go watch how it happened. Listen to it. And they specifically, you can hear Harlem Heat and Sid laughing about it. They talk about how someone put a post so they hit the 2x4. Oh, it's hilarious. They made Glacier. Yeah. So anyway, that's just my feeling. I think that Hasbro is really at a turning point where if they don't fix the shit they're doing, they can get over. Mattel's the only one that can overtake them right now. But if Mattel overtook them, Mattel has, we look at Mattel and we see Motu. I think Mattel looks at Mattel and goes, we have Hot Wheels, we own Matchbox, and we have Barbie. And then everything else. And I want to pull this stuff. And I think that's how they look at it. Rey Mysterio has been one of the longest and hardworking guys in wrestling. He's so small compared to the rest. The favorite thing that I ever saw Rey Mysterio do was when Kevin Nash picked him up and threw him headfirst into the TV truck. And I know someone has got to remember that. He picked him up and he threw him straight in. Lex Luger. What Lex Luger are you talking about? The one that killed Elizabeth or the one that was in love with Elizabeth? Yeah, I said what I said. All right. So I said we're going to do the drawing before 11 o'clock. So how many people are ready to do the drawing? Listen, I still got to talk about the Valaverse. There's so much to talk about Valaverse. I think maybe we should do the drawing before we do the Valaverse talk, or are you guys all going to leave? Because if you guys are all going to leave, I'm going to make y'all sit around and wait. Should I make y'all sit around and wait? Don't be good to me. I have a whole bunch of them. He's building up for like the same amount as shipwrecks that I have from the O-ring. Jeremy, you're not in it? Oh god. You people make me mad. Who wants to be added? I'm gonna do it right now. Who wants to be added? Jeremy's getting in. Jeremy K. We're gonna listen, Ronan. We're gonna talk Ballon no matter what. Zoran. I can tell you a story about Zoran. So I went to school with a kid named Zoran. Big guy. And he's Yugoslavian. And seriously, you're added, Zoran. Baldy, I thought I had you in here. Maybe you didn't put your name in here. I can't remember. I just want to add people more than once. So I went to school with this guy named Zoran. A lot of money. He actually had a Viper. He actually had a Andy. You know what? Where you at? I had really. I've looked at him. I know it's going to be a slide once I hit it, and that's kind of why I've I've avoided. But believe me, I look at them, and yeah. So I went to school with this guy named Zoran, nicest guy in the world. Like he's he was a big guy, and I'm tiny. 5th grade, he broke a chair. He just moved here. He was just sitting there, and the chair just collapsed. And Lone Dragon, I do believe that you are in. Didn't you put your name down? Let's scroll through here. See, I do this to myself. I'm a Lone Dragon, you're not. But anyway, his parents own this a bingo hall, which my grandmother played it all the time. And somehow he got to know my grandmother, who was about 4'9", 100% Mexican. If there's any Mexicans in here, you know exactly how they can be. You don't want to fuck with them. I'll just say that. And I never had a problem with Zoran at all. He was, again, Yugoslavian, so he's part of a different type of crowd than I was or whatever. But he would always talk to me, and he's like, man, your grandmother came over, and And she gave me the riot act and said, I better watch out for you. If I ever let anyone hurt you. And I said something to my grandmother. She's like, oh, you better believe I said something to him. So, like, I still got him on Facebook. I mean, he's, we'll chat back and forth every now and then, making comments. But just kind of funny. Like, when you think, like, this little Mexican, and the stories that I tell you from my grandmother, wow. I just can't say that because I wouldn't want to get it back to any of my other family. Some of the things she may have said. All right. So let's see here. We'll pull this up right now. And then we'll get into the talk. So you guys got to promise not to leave. 91 people, 92 people. Let's see. What are we at with likes? Listen, guys, I am very happy. 95 likes. We got to break 100 likes, guys. We've got to break 100 likes. All right? It would mean the absolute world to me. For every like, I think you guys should send one super chat. All right. So let's see here. Is there anyone else? Stephanie, I know you are in. Is there anyone else that wants to be put in that was not in? Again, you have to live in the United States in the lower 48. Again, I don't really want to be, I don't want to be that person that says, oh yeah, you won and you're in Canada and you're in New Zealand. You got to pay for shipping. It's just too damn expensive. Stephanie, have you been here the whole time and listening to me ramble on? Boba Wave, are you saying you want to be in? I'm trying to think if... Can you hear that? Oh, man. Okay, Boba Wave is not in. I will throw Boba Wave in. Okay, Boba Wave is in. Let's see here. New York. You're not in New York? See, this is what makes it so difficult. All right. New York is in. See, now I'm getting lazy here. All right. I leave it on in the background, getting ready for bed, as it is. Yeah. It's it runs to be a late show. I run for about 3 hours now, even though people said they didn't want 3 hours. I said, I don't care. All right. All right. Will R and WS, let me see. I think you're in. Yep, you're in. All right, so let's do this. So here's the whole thing. I'm going to spin. If you're not in, you have a minute to say if you're here. If I spin and your name hits and you do not say that you're here, well, guess what? Jeffrey Smith, come on. Dave, you're in, right? All right, Jeffrey. All right, okay. Jeffrey's in. I can't do nothing, buddy. Jeff Smith. I like having more people here. Cobra Commander, you're in, right? So understand, guys, when I do this here, I put this out there because I want to give everyone a chance. Really, buddy? Really? Cobra Commander, did I put you in? Did you? See? Here, I'm just rambling on here. See, I don't want people in 2 times. All right, Cobra Commander, you're the last one. CC. Christopher Ivory, come on. You know what? You're here. See? Right here, Chris. I remember you because guess what? I had a friend growing up named Chris Ivory. So, all right. So here it is. You got to be in. We spin it. Whoever it lands on, if you're not here, if you don't claim it in 1 minute or so, your name gets taken out and we go. So here we go. Roman wants to know the contest. Roman has a whole shitload over here, okay? Roman ate my Spock ornament a few years ago, didn't you? All right, here we go. Click to spin. And I really want it to be someone that's not here because it's fun. I have not seen Andy. So is there an Andy Sierra? You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute right now. 101 people watching right now. I should probably have got the stopwatch going. So stopwatch is going. It's not going right now. Yep. All right, guys. Got 50 seconds, Andy. If I don't hear from you, you're out, and everyone else gets another chance. Best 2 out of 3. It doesn't do best 2 out of 3. It's who's ever here. So I got to check over here. Let's see here. Andy is with Buzz. I got to watch over. I got to look at this over here because, unfortunately, oh, Andy is here. Look at this. Andy, I don't think I've ever seen you. All right, so Andy Sierra wins the Duster. There you go. There's your Duster. All right, not opened. You can see it through the package and everything. So Andy, all I need you to do is send me your address to apunkwithtoys@gmail.com, and then I will get this out to you possibly this week, next week. I'll get it out within the next 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I have a life revolves around work. It'll probably go out through my work, to be honest. But let's get. So anyway, thank you everyone. I love having everyone here, and I hope you guys all don't go because again, we're going to be talking about Valaverse. A lot of stuff to talk about Valaverse, and the best thing about this is we're going to be open and honest about the Valaverse. A lot of channels do not want to be open and honest about products. Whether they're shills, whether they're, Hasbros, whatever they are, a lot of people don't want to be honest. If New York says, damn you, do I accept gifts? I don't know what I've never accepted anything. I don't know what you're, I don't know what gifts you're talking about, but it's something. Hey, you know what? We can discuss it. If you wanted to send me something, I mean, yes, I'm not going to say no. I'm just not one of those people that's going to ask people to send stuff. Oh, come on, guys! I already see the chat dropping. See the stream dropping. 89 people. We haven't got the Valaverse. Or is it because I said we're going to be honest about it? All right, Roman, I love you, but you can't. All right. Let's get Roman's taken care of one more time. Lone Dragon, he accepts gifts. All right, give me 1 second so I can yell for one of the kids to come take care of Roman, and then we will get into the Valaverse. Okay, I am back. Don't start leaving, guys. How we're dropping to 86. I know you guys wanted to hear. People wanted to see the, here for the live stream. But hey, you know what? There's a lot of Valaverse talk. And like I said, this whole channel. I mean, I was already doing some videos, but it really started when my buddy that does all the 3D printing for me, when he mentioned to me, hey, you know what, why don't you can review these videos. And all I had to do, because I didn't think people were being honest, everything that I had read from stuff about Valaverse was either it's the greatest figure ever or the garbage. It was like had to be somewhere in between. So from the beginning, I have tried to be as honest as I can be when it comes to talking about Valaverse and the product that they're giving. And for the most part, I think I've been pretty impressed with the product that he gives. I think he does a good job of, I think he does a really good job of addressing certain issues. But unfortunately, I think with these females, he kind of went backwards. Whatever factory he used, there's issues with the with some of the ankle joints. It's the neck joints, I think we've been hearing. And sometimes, as much as he may address it, I also think there's a lot of damage control coming out of his camp. But he did do what he called the Valaverse this week. I don't understand why they called it that. There's just a stream. There's 3 days of streaming. Lots of stuff that's going to be coming out this year. Now, this year, it's going to be mostly repaints. And I know people don't want to hear that. And he even addresses it uses the same body. So until next year, we're not going to see new bodies. We're not going to see new bodies till next year. I am going to address what someone had said about the vehicle being under $100. I'm going to talk about that and what I think is actually going to happen. So let's just get into what they showed. And that is the Joe Fast exclusive. So I won't be getting this one, I don't believe, unless if I can get someone to pick one up for me. I have more than enough action points that if they need action points, I can get them to them. Now, I don't remember her name. So if someone knows it, say what it is. Here's another angry figure. I'm not a big fan of the tattoos. I think once they break, it looks kind of weird. NCO Pictures says Valaverse was called in the spirit of Toy Fair, which used to happen in the spring, but stopped. Listen, if it was one day, but the way you broke it up, to me, it was just like you were just dragging it on. Like I drag on this live stream. So again, looking at this figure, it is just a complete repaint using the same body, which is fine. You have to get your money's out of it. I don't want anyone to say that I'm being negative on it, because Mattel does it, Hasbro does it, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe team, they all do it. All right. So I'm not saying anything like that, but it is a reuse of the body. This is obviously Pandora's upper torso here. The exact same overlay. And then it's going to be probably the exact same legs they use with all the females. Different head sculpt. It looks okay. I'm not overly impressed by it. I'm assuming it's supposed to be some sort of Native American or something but I may have missed it. I was not following completely along. And now if I can get this, great. If someone is going to be going to Joe Fast and it's in the it's in the right price range and you can buy more than one, then great. If I don't get it, then I don't get it. I'm not going to be overly upset about it. Here's everything that she comes with. Okay, so now looking at maybe she's not Native American. Obviously looking at this, I thought maybe with the war paint. But again, here is the same head that's going to come with. Why can't I think of her name? Yeah, Eclipse. So it's the same as this here, just painted differently. face sculpt is different, but all the stuff is the exact same. So everything that we're getting with this figure. Oh, she is Native American. That's war paint. Okay. Well, that's what I thought at first. Okay, so here. Hold on. All right, so what you said was she is Native American. This war paint. That's what I thought, and then when I saw the picture here, I thought that it's not. Yeah. So okay, I don't read it, and again, Matthew Kennedy. I completely forgot this was happening. So I missed it. I was going back, but again, as you can see here, this is all reuse of everything that's already been there. The weapon is different. I do like this weapon. But again, this is just another repaint of Pandora. I will be interested to hear these Battleground bitch about the crooked shin guards, which makes me laugh because I have to agree with them. And then we move on to the Desert and the Riot Troopers. Now, I've been very vocal about this. I think it's awesome that he gives us troops for people that are customizers that want a troop build. I have a problem with selling me a trooper now with they each have a weapon now. And then I love bees. Him and we chat all the time, Zoran. So I believe me, I am not putting him down. I'm not putting him down. Him and I talk all the time. So it's nice of giving us two different weapons, looking at the weapons. I don't really care for what the weapons look like. I've been very vocal about how if you're going to give us a trooper, then you should give us one trooper that's fully loaded for the $32. I think selling this for $22 and then the gear that goes with it for an extra, is it $14? That's where I think we're kind of getting ripped off. I like the fact that you can buy a trooper for $22 or $21, whatever it is. That's just me. I've got yelled at by a bunch of different people that I'm wrong. I don't know how my opinion can be wrong. Again, I also understand why he's doing it. Understand these figures are $22 and they're in plasticless packages. They're completely covered. You don't see them. No one ever talks about that. But it is a desert camo, and then obviously, let's be honest, this is made so if you want a Cobra Trooper, you can make a Cobra Trooper out of it. So you can have a female Cobra Trooper. This is where I start having issues. But so these are the expansion packs or whatever they're calling them. I'm sorry, the upgrade gear. So you're going to get a different head of Eclipse, somewhat of a different body here. So you're going to have a different torso overlay, which is going to be the same with probably all of them. I do like the weapons. Don't really care for the pistol. And I'll get into the pistols a little bit more. I do like the smoke effects. I think that looks really good. And that's actually going to work really well for pistols like this. Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't even mention. Yeah, I forgot to do the whole. Hold on. Let me get rid of this really quick. Anyone that's new to the stream, move this really quick here. Maybe not. So I will be adding to the vase of Valahans right now. So here, you're going to see how long it takes to fill up the vase of Valahans. So when you see a vase sitting back here, normally there won't be stuff there. You'll know exactly what that is. That is the vase of Valahans. Bobby talks about how Talker Art always says, I'm tired of all the hands. I don't need that many hands. I don't really need that many hands. Give that vase of Valahans a job. Yeah, no hand jobs for me. No hand jobs from me, shall I say? So the price tags. So the price tags of these, Zorn, I'm assuming would be the same price tag as the Steel Brigade upgrade kit, which I think is $14. That's why I had a huge issue with that. If you want to give me an upgraded, different type of Steel Brigade, then you should just do that. Just give me. So I'm not a big fan of this head. It harkens back to the Screaming Duster head. Oddly enough, I don't have any out here. How did I have any Screaming Duster heads? I got a bunch of Dusters sitting right here. Oh, because they're all still in there. It's another Screaming Duster head. Again, I guess this goes back to the whole, like, I hate the Screaming Duke head. It just, although I do use a Screaming Duster head, but how many people can be yelling and screaming? So here we have the packs, the gear packs for the females. Are these for the females? These should be all for the... Oh, no, I don't think these are for the females. I thought these were all for the females, so... Does anyone know? Is female? They gotta be females, because that's the... I don't know. That's how good I am. I think it's all for the females. So, once again, here's all these packs that we're going to have. Again, so now to get a base figure, an army build, you're going to be spending close to $38 just for it. Okay, so McClotic says that it is for the... That's what I thought, but then I started looking at it, and I didn't see any of the breasts. I really just grabbed my tits. That's what started confusing me, because when I looked at them, you can't see any breastplates or anything like that. So I was originally correct, and then I was no longer correct. Hi, Ed. It's nice to see you, Master Versal. You were here right at the beginning, but then you were gone. But I know you live kind of far away, so. But again, it's nice that you give us the option, but if I want a geared up figure, then I think I should be able to purchase one for the same price of everything else. So here we have Gemini. And anyone that has made fun of the cover girl look, if you say that this figure looks good, I'm going to tell you, you're absolutely full of it. Yeah, this looks awful. This looks absolutely awful. Someone had made a point, or someone had shown, it looks like the girl from Dodgeball, the big one eyebrow. This looks awful. And I don't understand, and hopefully, for his sake, he changes it. He changes it, because this just does not look good. Again, same body as Pandora. New gun. It looks like a new vest. So I like that. And it even, I'm not sure if this is different here. Here's the, I forget what type of gun it is. Someone's going to mention it. Again, I'll pick it up. I'll review it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Here we have the Angry Michonne head. All right, so here's these vests that we were just talking about. So here's a few problems that I do have. Is that now maybe because of the stock on this sniper here, it won't be that bad. But if you take any of the longer weapons, like this gun that comes with Pandora, it's too big to fit. She cannot do a proper pose with it, especially not with her vest and everything on. That's something that I know people constantly talk about, they hate with G.I. Joe because they can't do stuff, that the Valaverse does. And I don't think you should change the size of the weapons for the females because that's not how it is. Yes, I understand she's angry. I know she's angry. He has a whole bunch of angry heads. I don't like them. I don't think. Now I like the weapon. I'm not a fan of the weapon being empty here, but it's going to be good for pictures if you do pictures and stuff like that. One moment. No, come on to bed. Go. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? And then we get to this one. And I'm sorry, this looks awful. Can someone explain to me, and maybe it's just a picture, what is wrong with her mouth? So here we have another head sculpt. Now the head sculpt looks more like what we got, unlike the digital render that was shown, which looked so much different. I don't know what's going on with the mouth. Maybe it's just mouth open when you fire. I understand that, but it doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look right. Like maybe it's just a picture. Monica. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I started like talking about it just now, that's kind of what I was thinking. Now I like the way the vest and everything looks, but if I want this head, unless I'm doing a lot of pictures, it kind of forces me to buy another figure. And again, this is where I feel like in some ways he's taking advantage of the customers that he knows are going to buy a whole bunch of things. But again, I'm not a big fan of that. I think that looks awful. I can't see myself purchasing this. But that's just me. Now we get to the bloody variant 1 and 3. Now, I have a problem with this. Because if I don't have the bloody variant Pandora, why do I want a bloody variant face? To me, this is a way to get people to go and finish up buying the rest of the bloody Pandoras if you get this head. So that, again, if I'm going to order this, I don't want a bloody variant. I'm going to want the regular one. Sell the bloody variant to the people that want to do that. Okay, listen. Well, it's not really more about what's more affordable. Listen, if you're going to buy a gridiron, you know that you're going to be spending a lot. I think gridiron is overpriced, to be honest. I think it can make more, but this is two different products. I think a lot of people have a hard time distinguishing different things when it comes to that type of stuff. It looks like all right. So Andy says looks like a method head from the streets of San Francisco. Yeah, it just might be. Now, I guess looking at this, she's supposed to be licking. All right, I guess I can kind of see that it's licking there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys are into it, and again, more power to you. So now we get to the weapons packs. I love having weapons packs because, well, I used to love having weapons packs, but now that G.I. Joe gives you regular weapons, and I have so many Valaverse weapons, and I have some gridiron weapons, and I have the Mark II toy weapons, I am weaponed out. So let's just get into these. So this is the first time I'm saying I don't like a lot of these weapons. I do like this here, although it still seems big, but I know it's been redesigned by Mark II Toys. The saw looks nice. I like the shotgun. I do like this. I believe this is some sort of M4, right? If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. I'm not a weapons expert. So patient Mento here says pretty much anything Bobby puts out, the fans lap it up without a second thought. Exactly, and that's why I said you're going to get honest opinion from me, which you don't get from a lot of other people. And it's not just, I know it's not just Valaverse, it's other things. And I'm called a hater by a lot of people. So these 4 top weapons I like. This pistol I like. I like the smoke effects. I hate the rest of the weapons. I don't really care for a sniper that's on a Yellowstone gun that they'd be using. This looks incomplete. Now I'm sure it's a real world weapon, but it looks awful. This looks like the weapon that came with, I want to say, the Valaverse Venom Cobra Commander. This here, I don't like the way it looks. And again, I'm not a big fan of 6 shooters. Again, I understand the importance in real life, but yes, I've mentioned numerous times that they are being made by Mark II Toys. And I do like Mark II Toys weapons and stuff, and I think he does a really good job. Doesn't mean I have to like the weapons. The second set here, I like the AK. It gives me vibes of the A-Team. I like this one a lot. And then I do like this here. Someone tell me the name of it. I can't think of the name right now. The Vector. And then I like the Sniper. And I like the blast effect for the Sniper. And I like the smoke effects. What I don't really care for are these. And I understand the purpose of these. Okay? So I understand that this is good for photo shots where you've just emptied your rounds. You're in the middle of firing. It's going to be good for shots. But I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot of photography. I know someone like Matthew will probably eat them up and do all kinds of amazing stuff. But to me, I don't need something like this, especially not a pack of 4 of them. And then you're also giving some of the women, they have them. We saw one, I want to say this right here. And so that's going to be holstered, and it's just not going to look right. And then this here, I just don't really care for this, although it might fit really well with the women. But I do like the smoke effects. I really like the one that came with like the with the Vipers. The Viper 3-pack has a smoke effect. I like that. That's one of the few effects that I liked that came out of that whole Viper pack and everything. And then here's like the minigun. So, now I am confused, and maybe someone can tell me. Are there 2 miniguns in it, or is he just showing both sides of the minigun? That I didn't catch if he said it. I would assume there would be 2 miniguns in it since he's showing both sides, but I may be completely wrong. So I do like the minigun. I like how the ammo goes through. It looks really cool. He did specifically say he stole it from Dwight off of an Iron Man design. Okay, so hold on. So Jeremy says there's only one just showing both sides. Okay. See, and again, I wasn't fully paying attention. Listen, I can only listen to so much of them for so long. All right. Again, I think like about 3 hours, you guys are done with me. But there was just too much of them all weekend. Again, blast effects. I hope they do finish. I hope he does fix the shaft here or the plug. Either way I said it, it sounds awful because these are just too loose for everything except for gridiron. Here we have the same shotgun again, but I don't like the way the silver looks. And again, I've kind of gone over these weapons before. I do like this here. This one looks kind of cool. I would be okay having like a couple of the handguns and the pistols that look like this, but he just has like all of them. So I don't know. And that was it for day 1. So let's move on to day 2. Maybe. We gotta go back or not. So we still got 86 people. Thank you. What are we at on our likes here as we're waiting for this thing to listen? I hope all the new people that are here, the 100 plus that were in the stream, I hope you guys are gonna come back next week, because you know what, all of this just makes it so much better. 105 likes. Listen, you guys, by far made this the best stream. I know some other channels will make jokes about it. But hey, you know what? I'm a small channel. I'm working my way up there. Just trying to have some fun, all right? All right. Day 2. So I didn't understand the reason why he showed the Screaming Condor head and then later on showed what it was going to come with. So once again, this one's going to be coming out later on this will be coming out later on this year. And it is once again a reuse of the body. But I do like it. And I like the fact that he's doing a second version of Condor. Again, another screaming head, and I'm okay with 1 or 2. But the fact that he's explaining that this is before he was actually part of Action Force. I don't know if I ever said this, but I think Action Force is a really dumb name. I'm sorry. When I was a kid and I saw Action Force and they were like G.I. Joes, I always was like, that is a stupid name. My opinion has not changed. But I do like the way this looks. And he talked about how it will match with Desert Rat, with the color scheme and everything. But I do like the way this looks. I like that it's no longer looking exactly like Airborne. And I don't care what anyone says. I've heard numerous people say it. So he's giving us the same gun that came with Duster. All right. So we get the same scar with the 203 on it, which I don't really mind. I think it looks actually pretty nice. But I like the way this figure looks. And it's something different. He's going to be redoing trade paperback, so everyone can catch up. Again, I don't really care about the lore. I don't really care about the lore of it. I integrate this with G.I. Joe. That's truly, Let's see here. Patient Mendo says, Action Force reminds me of Dollar General toy military brand. The name does, yes. The figures, no. I hope you're not saying the figures. The figures are not a dollar store. But yes, the name, it's just like that Action Force. And then saying, it's time for action. I'm sorry, I just think it's so campy and awful. And let's see, Cobra Commander says quickly, I really would love to read through all these comments. It is so hard when there's so many people and you're trying to do this. I appreciate every single one of you guys' comments. How awesome is Bobby on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 being awesome, 5 being super awesome. You need to explain what you mean by how awesome is Bobby. You need to elaborate a little bit more on what you're asking, because you're talking about the person or you're talking about the product. I think a lot of people would like to know what you're asking. So this is for all the people that didn't get these figures, and I have no problem with this. I know a lot of people, they hate when they reissue stuff. To me, I don't think this really needed to be long and drawn out. But he's gonna be Condor, and he's gonna be changing a few things. He said so. There's gonna be a few paint apps that are a little different. Uh, but I'm not sure what. Kind of looking at everything here, but so I'm glad everyone's gonna be able to get a chance to get Condor. I really do like Airborne. I think he's seriously one of the better figures. Just the color scheme and everything. And then the next one is Kerrig. Again, he said he's going to be changing. He's going to be changing things around. And the best thing is he'll be changing the plastic that he's using. Again, I have no issue. Let's see. Anthony says, so everyone's saying reissues are good with this line. I agree. Exactly what, people did not get in on the first wave. I think reissuing is perfectly fine. He's changing a few things. And in some ways, he's probably changing a few things so the people that have the original ones can kind of say, oh, I still have the original. I don't really have a problem with it. I'm not going to be buying them because I have no reason to. But I think it's great that people that didn't get it to begin with now have a chance to grab it. Because they're good figures. They really are. The people that continue to say they hate Action Force because of that first line, that first wave, and they had to heat them up, I don't get it. I really don't. So now we have the Desert Warfare Republic card. Again, I'm not going to keep on reiterating what I said about base figures. He's going to give us the Arctic Balaclava, which I think does look pretty nice, but let's be honest, that looks like Snake Eyes version 1, Commando Snake Eyes. If you don't see it, then I'm sorry. But he is going to be doing Arctic, and it's odd. He says he hates Arctic, but Bobby also said he does not like butterfly joints, but he put them in. He gave everyone butterfly joints because other people like it. Now, the gas mask here, he talked about this, and he did say that him and Tony had discussed it, and Tony had said on real gas masks, they usually don't have the ventilators on both sides for aiming at different things like that. So he said one's going to be missing, so it should just be one on one side. But he also talked about the goggles being either removable or there's going to be something that it's either removable so you can see the eyes. And he said you'll be able to see the eyes through it. So it's supposed to look more realistic. I like that idea. I think that should look pretty good. A lot of stuff that he does, I think he's really good with a lot of the stuff that he does. And then the reissue of Bone Collector. And again, he said he's going to be changing a few things. I guess Bone Collector is now part of Kerrig's crew or whatever. So, again, a little bit different, but you're going to have effectively the exact same figure as myself and other people have. And again, they're really good figures. They're good characters to have. I don't think he has enough characters out there, especially, bad guys. After that first wave, there's a lot of characters that you don't have because he didn't reissue these. And here's a picture of, Desert Rat compared to the Public Guard. And as you can see, it's pretty much the exact same figure. And again, the legs are different. On this leg, the same with the Duster leg. I mentioned this before. They removed the boot cut. So there's a lot less posability. And my biggest issue was, and I remember Tony talking about this, and he said, yeah, they removed the boot cut. That really doesn't bother me. I'll tell you what, if Hasbro removed the boot cut, man, people would throw a shit fit and be all up in fucking arms because they took articulation away. But when they did it, everyone said, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It is. This definitely hinders getting specific articulation. But yeah, let's see here. I see lots of stuff going on here. Let's see here. Vic says, say what you want about Bobby, but he has no corporate master or shareholders to answer to, and he gives the fans what they want. Yes, I agree. But I've also said I also believe he knows that he can put something out there and everyone will buy it. And it's kind of a twofold. And again, he does listen. And I'm not saying, let's say, the G.I. Joe team doesn't, but the G.I. Joe team also has to go and justify it to the people above. So I understand what you're saying. But it's not like Bobby is the only company that does that. Boss Fight does that. Boss Fight does that. Hell, McFarlane does that. There are other people that do that. But anyway, so how it's going to match, and obviously the female will look the exact same. So here's, again, you guys want to know where my complaint is. I'll go over it again really quickly. You see the body, you see the armor that he has, and then you see the gun that he has, but guess what? It's all the exact same that comes with the Desert Rat. But now you got to pay about $36 to $38 for it if you want him fully loaded. That's my complaint. Again. All right, so here's the Angry Condor head. He showed this earlier, but this thing is out of order. Again, I don't know why he showed it and then showed Condor a little bit later on. Now, I'm not a big fan of head sculpts and painting, but I got to tell you, fuck an Angry Trigger head. I will pay $32 for an Angry Trigger with his body. And when I look at this, what I like about it is that the hat is now forward and the glasses are on top, and he's got a different face. This, to me, makes a different character. Unlike Bloody Pandora, she's not a different character. Some of these other head sculpts were just screaming. This here is completely different, and I absolutely love this. But I also said, Trigger is my favorite figure in the Action Force line. So this here, I mean, let's be honest. He had to have looked at Old Man Outback and said, you can make that work amazing. Because him and Old Man Outback will look awesome together if what we're seeing comes out. So we get to the Buddha. Again, he showed these head sculpts, and I believe every single one of these is already going to be shown. Atlas be on the bigger body, and then Sidewinder. So I'm not going to waste time going through those because we're going to see them. Now, I don't believe they showed her. So he said she's an angry Korean that's just very brutal and vile and whatever. It sounds like she's Pandora, right? Isn't that what he said the same thing about Pandora? So, I don't know. The face sculpt looks awesome. Looking at that, and I was unpainted. I tend to think that some of his face sculpts are overpainted. I think he kind of dialed it back, but the first series they were way overpainted, very glossy. I think this head sculpt looks awesome. So I'm pretty hyped on that one. Let's type this again because when I go back, it didn't take me to where I wanted to go. And then on the second part of the day, the second reveal was the ghillie suit. Now, I don't do a lot of photography, so I was a little underwhelmed with the ghillie suit. I talked to some other people, kind of felt the exact same way. Again, these are elastic straps. To me, they look like tie wraps that I tie up cable with. But again, it's just a picture of it. I don't think it looks bad. He talked about how he was able to. I don't know if she's North Korean. I don't remember if he said North Korean. I just remember him saying Korean, which I can count 1 to 10 in Korean. Actually, I think I can go up to 30 if I remember correctly. So I do know how to say kick and punch, or at least I used to, in Korean. But anyway, yeah, so the ghillie suit, again, I think it would be great for photography. It just doesn't do much for me, especially if you've seen my displays. I don't have anything in, anything that's in like the jungle. Just how my displays are right now doesn't mean that I won't change things around. And will I buy? More than likely, I have issues. All right, so that's the ghillie suit. So let's go on to day 3. And I got a lot to say. I believe I got a lot to say about this one. Okay. I hope this one doesn't pop up first. She does. Okay, so this is his new Android Trooper. I don't have a problem. It looks awesome. But let's be honest. You cannot say that he's not doing the same thing that Marvel did with DC when they made Thanos or other copycats. This is a bat. This is an android. He's got like a sword here. I mean, now it looks badass. And for me, considering, to me, it looks a lot like Skeletron. That's another thing that I kind of, the Bat Killer. Yeah, whatever, dude. Bat Killer. This will be great because I use my Action Force bad guys as Serpentor's team. So I can have them now fighting bats. Will I get 6, 7, 8, 9? I doubt it. Maybe a couple. But I do think it looks pretty badass. See, Matthew said that was the first thing. So Matthew said the same thing. It looks like Skeletron. When I first saw it, I said he's copying the bat. If you look, there's a whole list of things that Bobby copied. People don't want to talk about it, but he copied a lot of stuff. And it's fine because people copy stuff all the time. So, but this is clearly a bat. I guarantee you that if you said bat in the chat, then you probably would have just got ostracized and people would have hounded on you. How dare you say that? But I think this looks awesome. I cannot complain at all. But I'm also not naive enough to look and say, oh yeah, this is completely a redesign of, not a redesign of the bat, but this is it comes from the bat idea. But it doesn't look like a bat. The Stand Solo, I don't know. This is, I guess, a Super 7, a reaction figure of Tony. Something I don't need. But if you like it, then good for you. You're right. You know what? I can't say nothing is original, but you're right. There's a lot of stuff that's not original. There is no doubt about that. I'm just kind of going through back here. Man, drinking in the mic grosses me out. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I forget who this was, but he said, so this is the new body. Won't come out to 2024. And it's the same size as all the other Action Force figures. And he said that all the parts will be compatible, but these are all brand new parts. So that is pretty cool. Captain K, yeah, I got the Skeletron. I'm excited. I can't wait for it. I don't want to get off track, but yeah. So I do like this new body, same size. He said they're going to be 6.25 inches, and he said that runs into be 6'1". And he's really, and I mean, he really tries to hammer the G.I. Joe team for making Roadblock and Gung Ho so big that they'd be like 7 feet. I don't care. All right. I cannot not fit it. It's not Super 7 size. Anyway, since he says they're all going to be compatible, I am willing to bet, and this has been a gripe of mine if you watch any of my reviews, that the shoulders here are going to hang over again and then prevent the T-pose, which also prevents doing different poses. And it looks absolutely awkward. And is unfortunate because none of the prototypes that he has, none of the pre-production figures that he has have it. All right, BMW, good night. Try and catch up on the rest. I know some of you guys got to work in the morning and everything. I just ramble on. I really didn't think this thing was going to go that long, but if you notice, we haven't even got into like rambling. We've been talking about stuff the whole time. But anyway, so I like this. I'll be interested to see the color schemes that they use. Completely different body, so it is nice. I'm glad in 2024, but that's a year away, so we still got some time. Here's the second body. He did talk about this having new boots, so they're shorter boots. It looks like the sleeves here are kind of pushed up. But again, here you can see that the shoulders don't hang over. But if they're compatible, that's what I say. I think they're going to hang over and prevent. But it has a different type of shirt. Again, I don't really see the shirts because it always has the armor and the vest on and everything. But again, nice to see. This can be exact same size. Now comes the bigger body, which is his Atlas. Now on this one, I could definitely see, because I don't know how, if Atlas is on a bigger body, how the parts, and they may be compatible, but I don't know how they're going to look properly, considering Bobby is so adamant about proportions. So if he's so adamant about the proportions and constantly bagging on Dwight from Marvel Legends about things being out of proportion, then the smaller figure's arms won't fit properly because he says that they need to hang to a specific point. With that said, this figure is going to be about 6.5 inches. I think he actually did put 6.5. I don't know if it's in. Let's see if it's in the next. Yeah, it's right here. So here's exactly how big they're going to be. And he said this figure. He said this. The character would be about 6'6". Again, it sounds like they're still going to be shorter than Roadblock, Gung Ho, different things like that. But I do like a bigger body. Everyone in Action Force is the exact same size, other than the females. And I understand it, but you could have, you're using the same tooling. It's hard. It's kind of difficult, but I'm glad he's going to give us something bigger. I do like the way this Atlas looks. The head looks awesome. It gives you that sailor look that is not. Is Tony saying goodnight? Is Tony saying goodnight? Tony, are you leaving us? Are you leaving me? My white Mexican brother? Cousin. So we're all cousins. Us Mexicans are cousins. Someone he's saying night to someone, or saying night to everyone. I don't know. Yes, Eclipse Freak. It's funny that I assume shit. Isn't that what all these streams are about? But I understand, dude. I read your comics. I know you're a Valaverse show. It's cool, dude. Like, hey, I'm glad you joined in. Nice to have you. Anyway, yeah, it's nice that it's gonna be a different body. It's gonna fit in with stuff like that. So, anyway, Here we have some sunglasses. I must have missed this. I think that he talked about he wants to like Hawaiian guys with flip flops. It's pretty funny, you know. So anyway, here we get to Colonel Siege, who I do think looks really nice. He definitely looks like the guy from Avatar, if you haven't figured that out. And it is kind of funny. He does have a very similar look to General Hawk, although he is a colonel, just with the the jacket and everything. But I think it's kind of funny. I like the way this figure looks. I like the second head sculpt with with the cigar. It's something different. It's something you would never get with one of the bigger manufacturers. And again, this goes. I mean, again, a lot of that goes to what I talked about last week with Hasbro having an issue where, you know, they're appealing their figures to a 4 and up, where Valaverse, McFarlane, you know, NECA, theirs is all 14 and up. So you can do stuff like this where you give someone a cigar. And again, I think this looks really good. It's something different. He said the jacket is completely new. It's not the Carrick jacket. So I'm not assuming. I'm merely stating exactly what is here. But I like this figure. Definitely fit in perfect. Again, I have my Action Force. They do work in conjunction with my G.I. Joe stuff. Yeah, you know what? I can definitely, you know what? I could definitely see him taking cues from Hannibal with that. To be 100% honest. And you know what? I would love an 18 line. Yeah. So anyway. So now we get to the vehicle. And I got some thoughts about the vehicle. I really don't think it's something that I'll be buying. But maybe if the price is good, I just don't think the price is going to be. I just don't think the price is going to be proper. Or not proper, but right. And again, I pointed out in the video that I had already done that. I already pointed out in the video that I had already done how big like the 3D printed his tanks are. Now everyone wants 6-inch vehicles, and they're just going to be outrageous. They take up so much space, and yes, there was someone that they have a whole room for it. Hey, and you know what? Maybe it can. If you have a whole room, then great. I have a whole room for my, 1/18 scale figures, and yeah, it's awesome. But I don't have it for this, and if you have a whole room, then great. But it's still you're gonna lose space really quick. So he said it is going to house 6 people, and it's going to look like the Rosvati. So you can see there's one figure that sits like the old station wagons where you sit on the side. All right, good night, Dad. It was nice having you in here. I find it funny that you just have the name Dad. And not in a bad way, but it's just funny, like you just have the name Dad. So he shows you exactly how it's going to sit and everything. Now he has constantly talked about the different things that it's going to be able to do, and how he wants to get into a certain price point. And if it's too expensive, then he's not going to do it. Well, this is what I truly do believe. And again, it's just my opinion, which I know that's what fucking YouTubers do, is give their fucking opinion. Here's what I think will probably happen. he made a comment about how, hey, if it comes out priced too much, then this might be an upgrade kit. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get a base model with like one armament on it for a high price of probably around $200 to $250. Then he's going to throw in, an upgrade kit for $50 to $100. So you have these, the dual 50 cals on here, which look really cool and everything. But then you have all this. And I have a feeling what you're going to see is this is going to be an upgrade kit. It's going to cost you $50, $100, so you can add it to this vehicle, which now is going to put your vehicle into the $300 to $400 range. But yes, you don't have to have it. And in my opinion, that's where you kind of get shot down completely, where saying, hey, I'm giving you a reasonably priced vehicle, which technically you are, but if you're not going to give it fully armamented, then, what? Now, maybe he will come in and this will come in at $100. I find that hard to believe, but I also don't do toys. I don't produce toys. I fix copy machines. I do a YouTube channel. And I don't even know how I'm a YouTuber. But, I think it looks nice. Here's the inside of it. He said everything is going to look exactly like the inside of a Rasvati, which is cool. But, how well are they going to fit and everything? It's going to be interesting to see when it finally comes. So it'll be interesting to see how it actually comes out. Here's the dashboard. He said this looks just like the dashboard. They were all making the jokes about, is it going to light up? Is it going to have a working radio? They made their jokes about the top and the bottom and everything like that. So they all got their jokes in there. He did specifically talk about the doors and how they're going to swing completely open like a Jeep Wrangler, which I think is really cool. It also help be able to get figures in and out. So definitely something that would be really cool. Now, again, is this going to be able to be in a price range? And I think he just showed the bottom. They kind of do the tongue-in-cheek of top, bottom, and middle. But I do like the fact that there is detail. Again, the one thing about most of his figures is when you look at the boots, I'll show you really quick. I know some people actually don't have any Valaverse stuff, but if you look at the boot, it's not a plain boot. It's an actual boot. So if you're out in snow and the dirt and anything like that, you would be able to make boot tracks like you're actually walking through it. So anyway, that's about it. There was a lot of stuff that was shown, a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out for 2024. So I think that, this year you're going to be getting a lot of the repaints using the same molds, new weapons, but for the most part, and he's already said that he's going to have less product this year than he did in 2022. And I think he was just kind of pushing on. And again, I think it's a lot easier to push out the products when you're just kind of rearranging and repainting the molds. But for the most part, he's given us a lot of stuff. So if you are interested in Valaverse, there it is. I didn't expect to go 3 hours. I'm long-winded, as we all know. Yes, you know what? Again, the best place. Listen, if you don't have any, the best thing to do is order one from BBTS. If you're interested, order one from BBTS because you're gonna pay $4 and see if you like it. If it's not for you, then pass on it. Don't pre-order the stuff and order 4 or 5 figures and then find out you don't even like one. I see Baldilocks says here, I'm getting that vehicle. The initial molding was definitely put the price over 100. My guess is 115 to 155. I can't imagine that it's going to be that cheap. Just my personal opinion. I can't imagine that it'll be anywhere near that. I really do think that you're looking at 200. Yeah. Let's see. Nico says here, even if people don't like Bobby, some mad respect is required for how much he and his crew have been able to done for you. I agree. Like, listen, the problem that some people have with me is that I don't get on my knees and put Bobby's dick in my fucking mouth and suck his fucking balls. All right? I give my honest opinion. I give my honest opinion on shit. And I apologize for that. I give my honest opinion on stuff. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't get personal about stuff. I'm just giving my personal opinion. There's a camp that says Bobby can do no wrong. And then there's a camp that says Bobby can do no right. And the fact is, I ordered every single one of those figures. And guess what? They're pretty damn good figures. Do they have problems? Sure. Almost every figure has, almost every line has problems somewhere down there. It's all about how it gets addressed. But yeah. So, that's really all I have to say about that. I can't believe I've gone 3 hours. I am really interested to see everything that does come out. No, okay, so okay. At least not like Iron Ken, who just unnecessarily. Listen, I did a whole live stream about how not to talk to like these people in the industry, unless if you're going to like truly come at me. Listen, we can have a polite conversation. We can talk about things open and honestly, and have a difference of opinion. You're allowed to do that. It's kind of crazy. You know, we've all forgotten because Republicans, Democrats, they got to fucking hate each other. And God forbid people talk like human beings. In the toy community, you know, it's crazy because everyone sits behind the monitor. Yeah, I'm sitting behind the monitor. I get it. You know, everyone sits behind the monitor and the keyboard warriors. Some people, you know, they won't put their face to what they're doing. Other people, hey, you know what? They're just showing off figures. I have an opinion. Some people may not. Some people may not like my opinion. Some people may not want to hear me talk. But I can tell you what: 68 people are still here listening to what I have to say. So somewhere along the lines, I'm doing something that people are going, "Hey, you know what? I want to hear what he has to say." I'm open to having conversations and different things like that. What was this? Punk's chilling. Freaking hilarious about Bobby comment. I'm not sure. Listen, again. You know what? Listen, this is technically true. But again, I like the figures. I continue to buy them. And I'm not going to buy figures if they start becoming increasingly shitty. And Hasbro right now is pushing that line for me. They really are. I mean, I love the classified line. I love G.I. Joe. If Hasbro started making really shitty G.I. Joe figures, I would probably be out of the military line altogether. Then I'd be going towards like Mythic Legions, the Savage Crucibles. I would be putting my money to that type of stuff because I like the way that looks. Action Force fits with G.I. Joe. I grew up on G.I. Joe. I already have a lore in my head of G.I. Joe. So I could continue to go on I can't believe there's still 70 people here. Thank you to every single one of you. This is by far the best chat. Let's quickly over here look and see. 108 likes. If you haven't hit the like yet, hit like. Let YouTube know, hey, you know what? We like hearing this guy. Other people should hear him. Other people may not want to hear me. Again, if you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like hearing my voice, how I don't like hearing my voice, go watch something else. I mean, I think it's kind of funny, you know. Sometimes I watch things that I just don't care for, and I kind of get angry, and I'm like, why the hell am I even wasting my time? I don't turn on American Idol when I know it's garbage. I don't watch Survivor. You hit the love button. I love the love button. Makes me feel like somebody likes me. Somebody out there's got to like me, right? But anyway, I don't think there's going to be any more rambling on today. I do have to work in the morning. I think some of you guys, the rest of you have to. Going over 3 hours. This is kind of crazy. Daniel, hey Punk, it was really generous if you do the giveaway. Hey, my pleasure. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of a lot of it had to do with it drums up interest in the channel. I do feel like I have a voice and that people do like to hear what I have to say. I've watched other YouTube channels. Some of them are very boring. They don't have big opinions. And again, my hands are always going. I don't have one tone throughout a whole live stream. And that's fine if you do. I mean, there's different things for everyone. But I truly enjoy growing this whole community. Seeing the amount of people that are just kind of jumping in. To have that many people, and again, I watch how many people watch the live stream throughout the week, and it's just it's keeping those people coming in. And again, everyone seems to enjoy having to hear. Not everyone, a lot of you seem to enjoy having to hear what I have to say. So Monday nights, man, this is where it's going to be. If you can't catch it because you're watching Monday Night Raw or when football's on, come back and catch the replay. Let's see here. Chaz, I love Chaz. Huge props to you, Lawrence, for being able to talk this long by yourself. Man, I'm telling you, if you are a sports fan, well, speaking of that, we got to get into it. God damn it. I got to sleep sometime. Listen, I can be kind of proud of. I can kind of be proud of some of the stuff that I do. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I ask why not. But I threw together a meme today. I can't believe I didn't see anyone else do it. Again, if you ever wonder the type of sense of humor that I have, this is it. Now, how no one else did the John Morant Deluxe before I did. I literally sat on the shitter and threw this together in about, 4 or 5 minutes. But seriously, it's right there. It's in our face. And it's going, how did someone else not do that? But there's the John Morant special edition there. Even like Pensive Melancholy here. You wrong for this. Dude, if you were on my personal Facebook, you'd see all the rest in peace that I do every time someone dies. So listen, every now and then you got to be proud of your own work, and I was kind of proud of that, and it actually hit 50 likes really, really quick. Anyway, if you're not following me on Instagram, you should be. Punk with Toys, TikTok. I try to put stuff on TikTok, Twitter. Still trying to figure out Twitter. I put some, you know, I push out my videos when I do it. Anyway, I think it is time to wrap it up. Over 3 hours. Seems like I only had one person that really didn't like me. Again, I couldn't imagine sitting here for 3 hours not liking someone and then finally chiming in. But hey, you know what? Like we already talked about, a dislike is still part of the algorithm, right? So anyway, let's get out of here. Andy Sierra, hold on quickly. Let's see what you say. Hello, Punk. When are you going to do the movie reviews? I gotta talk to Matthew about that. I really do want to do it not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, and that will be it would be from 10 to 12. But I gotta talk to Matthew about it because I want to work things out. I don't think I want to do it solo. I kind of want to do it with someone. So, all right, let's just get out of here. But I will update. I promise. I do want to do it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, everyone. Hit like on your way out if you haven't liked. Thank you for helping make this the biggest show yet. Yes, Matthew, it's gonna be the Warriors. And I actually watched the trailer, and I'm like, how have I not watched this before? So anyway, let's get out of here. I will talk to you guys all very shortly. Have a wonderful day, or have a good night. I guess that's better. Take care, guys.